How's it going, guys? Daniel Morgan, how you doing, dude? Good to have you joining us for the old stream. Rebel by choice, evening. How's it going, man? Lucian Sinclair, hey Mr. Lone Wolf, how's it going, dude? Trenton Ayres, hey Mr. Lone Wolf, how are you? I'm not too bad, cheers, mate. How are you doing? Justin Lynch, hello, how's it going, man? What do we want? Yeah. Fat Stack, g'day mate, how's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. What do I want? Extended. That's what she said. Yeah. A bit more length, never hurt anybody. Set my D-pad when I have to scroll through 9 million winch points. Load Toad 84. Hey Miss Lone Wolf, howdy, how's it going, dude? I don't know, I'll just worry about that one later. Crook, evening Mr. Wolf, how's it going, man? Yeah, today I thought I'd try out. I was nearly going to do my normal playthrough, but then I seen a few newer mods like this one. I was curious about the Hummer and a few others, so Daniel Walker, remember me? I was the dude that got shot at. Yeah, I do remember that. It was a good couple of months ago now, probably more than that, wasn't it? Wayne Brown, how you doing, Mr. Lone Wolf? Not too bad, dude. How are you doing? Technical KF1, hi. How's it going, mate? Matthew Burner, is that? Peace and love. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah. What one are we going to try first? And then also, there's a trailer that's like a login trailer for the P16. I don't think it's a foldable one, which is a shame, but it's better than nothing. Hey, the KZGT, is that yeah, this thing. Or close. Well, yeah, it's got all those engines. Well, it has got those engines, but I ended up putting that one in. V12, assume turbo diesel, tuned. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, like the general plan was to give this truck a go, probably try some login with the P16 big trailer. There's a big fuel trailer for the Cat 770G, which I just wanted to quickly look at. And then after that, I can either mess around with more mods or go over to my normal playthrough and do like the Block Gamma mission or something. Aussie man, how do you? It's Mr. Lone Wolf. I'm all good, dude. How are you doing? Daniel Morgan, just a little flex that you remember that. I certainly do. Yeah, so let's go and find a mission for this beast. I've got to admit, it's not the prettiest looking thing. If I just go and look at the stock one, I bought 2 of them. Figured you never know. What do you think of Phase 5 on PTS? I have no idea, dude. I'm playing this on PS4, so yeah, I've not seen any footage of PTS. I don't really look because I like to have my own first impressions of stuff, so I genuinely don't know. If I'm honest, I've not even seen like a thumbnail on a YouTube video as I'm scrolling through YouTube, so I couldn't even tell you if it was snowy, muddy, or on the moon. Yeah, that's what it looks like normally. I mean, it don't really bother me, but it's not exactly the prettiest of things. Right, let's just go and find some random mission we can get stuck into. At least I've kind of got more missions. Well, I've got more missions on my modded playthrough, however, I haven't uncovered a lot of them. What are these ones? Chinook comments? Nope. Plant restoration? Nope. Not looking good in that one. The bearded one, love that truck, Mr. Wolf. It looks pretty decent. It's got a high kind of vote ratio as well, so that's definitely what made me think, unlimited power, that's on, Northern Aegis. Bare minimum. We've not got anything left on Erskine River, just do one of these roadblocks. It's not going to be much of a test, but start. Season 5 vehicles seem to be a Jeep, Tatra Force and Tatra Phoenix, so they appear to have made some deal with Tatra then, I assume. He seems to be bringing a lot of them out. For the most part, they, well, I don't know, the only thing I don't like about the Tatra that I got was that mainly the diffs aren't on, which just makes it not quite as good as trucks that have got diffs. But I assume various new ones they bring out are going to have diffs and stuff, so I like the look of the truck. Again, as well, it's not got many add-ons, but I did hear in Phase 5 it'll be getting more, so I can sort of... I don't mind with that. I suppose in a sense we got the Tatra pack a little bit early, like they could have just held it back until Phase 5. I remember your story. That's the dude with the shank. Yeah, was that Daniel Morgan guy? I do remember it. Well, at first I thought you were just joking, and then you kept kind of continuing the story, and it was like, oh, I don't know, you might actually be getting shot. You need trailer loading mod. Screw those crates. What's that? Oh, what, for this, do you mean? Wayne Brown, hi, how's it going, dude? The Legend of... Is that like Zaldu? No loaf, that is true. Should have got a goddamn horse. To be fair, pretty goddamn sure you can fit one on that roof. With a head like that. That's definitely loaf approved. And then the sideboard. We will get the... To be honest, I'm hoping this is going to be a pretty quick little mission. I can't remember what I need from the warehouse. Is it wooden planks? I might just drive over there quickly and have a look. Where's the goddamn professional? Exactly. He's in jail now, so I'm happy. Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds like where he belongs if he's popping guns off. I remember, like, this was years ago where I used to live. Never met the guy or anything, to be honest, by the sounds of him, didn't want to meet him. But one of the things, he basically just got out of prison after doing something probably mental. And he's like a certified psycho, I think. And apparently he'd had some trouble with, well, not trouble with someone, he was just in an argument with someone. And then he went round their house at night with a shotgun and shot all their windows out. And then was shouting, saying, you know, if you want to continue the problem, I have a shotgun. And yeah, then he went back to prison. But it's just some people are on a scale of mentalness that, I don't know, you just can't compete with that level of deranged. I'm too sensible, I think, to ever be crazy, if you know what I mean. Some people really just couldn't care less. I know of a guy, well, yeah, I know him. He was my brother's mate, but I know him pretty well, lived in the same house as him for a little while and stuff. And he's like, honestly, he's probably 8 stone when he's wet through. And he will, like, when he's drunk anyway, which was quite a lot, he'd start a fight with anybody. And I mean anybody, just, it doesn't matter how big they are, the size of them, all sorts. Wooden planks to service her parts, cool. Yeah, and he used to do, I can't remember if I've told you any of these stories, but, well, yeah, there's a couple, like, there was one guy who was a cage fight, well, yeah, like mixed martial arts, I suppose it wasn't like that cage fighting type stuff. And, they were all having an argument, whatever, and this guy I know said to this cage fighter, right, get outside now. And yeah, the cage fighter is like 6.5 foot brick shithouse trained martial arts guy. It was like, literally said to him, do you know what, I'm going to shake your hand because I would eat you for breakfast. But the fact that he had the balls just to say get outside now. But yeah, again, I can't remember if I told you where he was swinging, he was in a nightclub and he was dancing, but he was swinging his jacket round in the air and it kept slapping this big guy in the face. And again, it's just, he has no sense of like danger when he's drunk. And I can't understand people like that. It's funny to watch, but... And again, still, this is the thing with stories, I can't remember if I told you them or not, but when I was there as well, me and another mate went to the pub on like a Tuesday afternoon to go and play pool and have a few pints, and there was somebody already on the pool table, And then this other guy was with us, and because he knew we wanted the pool table, when the guy bent over to take his shot, my mate just went up behind him and started like pretend shagging him over the pool table, and I mean violently shagging him over the pool table. And then obviously they nearly got in a fight, nearly punched him, but they just took their money and left, and then we were able to play pool. But yeah, that's just the kind of thing where it's like, he just doesn't worry. Oh yeah, it's in the other bloody warehouse. Sorry, I was missing some of the comments there. Toughest prisoner in the world, Bronson in UK jail. Kept in a literal cage. Yeah, they need to release Bronson now. I don't think he'd be like... Oh, he's famous enough now that he certainly won't need to be like robbing post offices and all that. I don't know. He's a bit of a hard bastard. Like, most people would know not to unnecessarily piss him off. I don't think he'd do anything if they let him out. I do, like, he served way more time than he got. And, yeah. It is like, he is in a literal cage. But then I remember reading some stories about him, don't know if they're true, but I heard when he was like rioting in a prison once, he punched a guard who had a riot helmet on, and he split the riot helmet. Apparently, again, like you say, it's one of those where... But I think it's safe to say he's a bit of a nutter. He's the same, you see, again, that's the sort of person that just doesn't get what I'm to, yeah. I'm like, nah, what if this happens? I don't even like arm wrestling. Ever since watching, is it Terminator, where his bone comes out his fucking wrist? Like, nah, man. I'd rather lose the arm wrestle than risk that. My wrists are far too narrow to be risking it. Superman finds out the other guy's carrying kryptonite. Well, I mean, to random subject jump, but to bring up guns. That's why they call guns like the great equaliser. Because then me versus an 80-year-old granny. Fist fight, I'm probably winning. Gunfight, depends. She could easily be a better shot than me. £3.5 grand. It's a bit of a rip-off. No problem, Wolf. I said Season 5's also going to be Russia, but in summer, like Tamir. Map seems to be small though. TC compared the size of... yeah. Sorry man, but yeah, Season 5, but in summer, that should be quite cool. I just want some maps that are a bit brighter for longer. That's interesting though. Look, again, like this is what I said the problem was with unblocking this roadblock here. Is even when you unblock it, it's like death snow and everything afterwards. This thing's struggling and it's been walking like nothing for the entire mission. My HX520 couldn't get through here. Like, what's the point of unblocking this roadblock if it's physically too harsh to get through with like 99% of trucks? Speaking of daylight as well, let's get a bit of that going. You like shooting pool? Yeah, do you know what? I'll be honest, I've not done it for years, but back, say, more teenage years and late teens, early 20s when we were drinking and stuff, yeah, I'd go to a lot of pubs and we'd do some pool. I used to, when I was like more 14, 15, that sort of age. My mate was what was it, like the East Riding, so it's like East Yorkshire pool champion, but for under 14s or whatever it was, so obviously like the adults still would have had him for breakfast, I assume. And I used to play, because I lived at like the seaside basically. Yeah, there was a lot of arcades and stuff, so we used to play pool, and I never beat him, no matter how many games we played, whether it was 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, whatever, he'd always win all of them except one, so it'd always be 6-1, 8-1, 10-1, whatever, and yeah, he never 7-bowled me, and I 7-bowled him once. And it's the first and only time he was ever 7-bowled by anybody. And I'm glad to say it was me. And then he beat me for like the subsequent 14 games, and it was, yeah, 14-1 to him. But I don't care. A 7-bowled East Yorkshire pool champion. And I'm taking it. So, unfrozen tundra. I've seen ice road truckers. There are no roads as such outside of town. Yeah, to be honest, ice road truckers would be quite cool if they did more with the ice. You know, where maybe like load limits and spreading your weight out on the trailers and that. If they delved into that a little bit more. On this, it's kind of like some trucks break the ice, some don't, and that's about it. And you're not really getting cargo over it. It'd be quite cool if there was areas where if you take the piss, you'll break it, but a truck with cargo, you know, maybe with a smaller trailer or spread out, whatever, it'd be quite cool. Well, long story short, this thing, yeah, it's pretty good. Like, it's a solid truck. Is there anything else nearby we can quickly go and zip and do? If not, I'll just recover it. Yeah, I've already done that mission. I've done quite a lot of missions. Bottoms up. Could go and do that one. Been playing Ghost Hunters Court the last 12 hours. Not sure what that is. Oh yeah, I need to put a saddle on. Not sure what it is, but it sounds ghost related. It's my excellent deductive skills in action there. I do like to be beside the seaside. It was pretty cool, to be honest. Before I moved there, somebody said the only problem is when you move to the seaside, it becomes less special. Like, as a kid, if we ever did go on holiday, which was like the last week of November, because it was a bargain, and that was all we could afford, but it was like cool, because then at the same time the holiday places we went to were just empty. You had like the whole arcades to yourself. I don't like crowded places, so it was worked out better for me than in the summer where it's too hot and all the rest of it. Yeah, like, once we lived by the sea, there was kind of no reason to go on holiday. But it was nice, I'm not going to lie, that just, and being asthmatic, the sea air was good for me. Having a map similar to ice road truckers might actually make the highway trucks more useful. Yeah, exactly, because then it's not necessarily like bumpy terrain, it's just a truck that can sort of, yeah, haul cargo, maintain a steady speed and all the rest of it. It's got, because the highway trucks, they usually have like very nice steering and all the rest of it, but yeah, they're just not good at coping on rocks and things. On the ice, need some bread. Oh yeah, do you know what? I'm going back for him. Not having 2 missions without him. It's too long without a load. It's because I'm chatting away. I forgot about my goddamn professional. Where is he? There'll be one here somewhere. There's testing something. You know the ramp that I built on White Valley? In fact, we can visit there later. I tried with this thing. The problem is it's an erratic lunatic. It's got all-wheel steering, and they need a way to disable that because it's just far too insane to fine-tune when you're going in like over 1 mile an hour. Like, it's cool and it's funny, but yeah, they've dialed the steering up to 11. 31 degrees today, temps this week between 29 and 35. To be honest, right now, what is it, like pretty much 3 in the morning, I've got the window, both windows each side of the flat open to try and get a bit of wind going. I've got a fan blowing on me, which, if it is making noise, let me know and I'll turn it off. But yeah, normally I turn it off anyway when I'm doing a live stream, but it's too bloody hot. It's still got to be over 20 degrees, I would have thought, and like I said, it's 3 in the morning. After a bit of a long winter and that, I'm always like, oh, could do a bit of summer, and then yeah, get like 5 days of hot weather, and I'm like, well, that's me done. Bring back winter. Take a lot more than 5 days of snow before I don't like snow. I'll tell you that. It's a bit wonky, but it'll do. Helps eke out the tippiness of trucks as well. Not that, I mean, I'm just making excuses to bring a loaf at this point. I'm going to bring a loaf regardless, but I do think it, yeah, kind of for some of the trucks it helps see what their tipping point is. Drive highway trucks, you need to drive highway hauling mod. I heard, is that the map? I heard about that. 22 degrees C here in Sweden at 4 AM, bloody hell. And we're like, Sweden's not silly far away from England. I know it is, but I mean compared to like America and, you know, Australia and all that. So we're probably in the same kind of hot weather system that you guys are, and yeah, it's pretty toasty here for, like I said, 3 in the morning. I bet it's probably similar 22 on. And I assume it's fairly humid here as well. We should have a... Oh, sorry, dude. I missed that by half a second. Hello, Mr. Lone Wolf. How are you, bro? Darren Russell. How's it going, dude? I'm not too bad, cheers, mate. Well, when I woke up earlier, I had a bit of a banging headache, and I was like, oh, no. Because I've been pretty lucky, really, with, like, every time it's a live stream. I've not really, like... had a migraine coming on or anything. Today I thought, oh no, but thankfully, touch wood, it kind of calmed down instead of got worse, so I sort of feel pretty normal now. Yeah, it was 34 degrees here today. I don't know what it was here, but it's got to have been very high 20s or low 30s, I would have thought. I didn't sleep very well, probably half the reason. I had a bit of a headache. 33, 34, yeah, that's some cooking. Right, question is, can this thing... Uh-oh, it's not a good start. To be fair, a lot of stuff can't get through here, but it'd be really nice if this could, even if it's like this slow, I'll accept on this occasion. Because it's still quicker than bringing the iceberg. Uh-oh. See, it was going alright until just a bit of ice catches your chassis. Or in this case, it might be that chunk hitting the front bumper. And that's it. That's the game. How are you doing with the Block Alpha Beta Gamma contracts? Hopefully no more 8-slot trailers. I've still got the Gamma one to do. Like I said, I was nearly considering, yeah, doing my normal playthrough today and doing Block Gamma and then maybe even doing the rocket launch. However, if I'm honest, I would like to do the rocket launch as its own video kind of thing. Honk the horn. Not too bad. You know, it was that like in an attempt to scare the ice out of the way, which does work on occasion. Or did you want to hear the horn? Here in South Carolina, it was 92 Fahrenheit or 98 with humidity. Fahrenheit. I never know like the deal with Fahrenheit. I gotta be honest. You Americans and your awkward way of doing things. Fahrenheit. You put a month, then day, then year, which drives the whole entire world crazy, just so you know. What else do you do that's odd? No offence, just randomly starting on America for now. Well, the way you say aluminium, not too sure about that one either. What is it? Aluminum. Send out the loaf. See, this is where, if the winching worked properly, like if I could put this in low range and all the rest of it, I'd rather be in the loaf. But then if I switch to the loaf now, this... I don't know if it'll go out at low range. I don't know if it'll... I don't think it'll turn all-wheel drive off, to be fair. Is there a way? Can I run over that bit of ice and break it? This is the thing, like, it's literally that. I reckon that bit of ice I'm driving on is what's... Yeah, look at it, because it's even hooking my tyre. So we need to get around that. grippy little beast. Is anyone having issues selling back trailers lately? I sell them back and get no money. Well, I don't really suffer that problem because it's rare if ever I take trailers back. I can try it in a little bit. Let's put it around that ice block. Just me? Am I tripping? I swear it just got it round that ice block and then now it's back. Did I just see that, or... like, that looked like I got it round that ice. Trailer's bug. Yeah, I'll have to look into that one, dude, because I've not really come across it. Yeah, now it's just pulling me into that stuff, which I don't want to be in. Come on, Loaf. Loaf horn, break the ice. I think that chunk that my truck is stuck on is like just a beast. Like, it ain't moving. Don't I? Oh well, I don't mind messing around for a minute. Love me a bit of Loaf time. Uh-oh. So that's breakable as well. Right, Loaf's got the link. Well, I'll just have to try and yank it out with the truck if my Loaf ends up... If I pull my Loaf into the breakable ice, obviously there's a pretty good chance he's going to get stuck in there. I honestly want to like go back and look at the live stream and see how I feel like I witnessed this thing move around that ice block, and then when I went back it was there again. Moving the ice. I don't even know if, like, do you reckon that piece of ice will ever move, or is it just one of those pieces that's like, you see, like, some of these pieces move but not all of them. Some of them are actually, like, I think no matter how much you drive over them, they are just solid. Back there as well. I know the Loaf will be able to tow this thing out of here. Not that part doesn't worry me. But spending 20 minutes to try and drag the truck sideways just because of that bit of ice is a bit of a pain in the ass, I'm not going to lie. If not, I'll just I've got another truck of this, I could just switch to that one and I'll come and do it again. Because I'd like to do this. Like, I'm not worried about the Loaf getting this out, I kind of want to try as well, but I don't want to make the live stream just this for the next half an hour or something. Wolf has a few in Alaska, a few dozen. Oh, is that trailers? Probably more than that these days. it did get around. I genuinely would put money on it. Like, I feel like I witnessed it and I reacted to it and I moved because of it. And then when I look back, that was it. It's like it had just gone exactly back to where it was. See, well, at least that was nice. Again, I wasn't worried about like the loaf being able to get this out. I just didn't want to sit there for 20 minutes hooked on a piece of ice. It's a goddamn horse. So if anyone is watching that, I still get asked it quite a bit in the comments, like, why do I bring a loaf everywhere with me? Case in point. And yeah, some could argue, maybe it would have been quicker to recover to the garage or bring the Azov iceberg, but... Or say the Azov Antarctic. I know this is a mod, but forget that side of it. The garage is only over there, though. Imagine if I was, like, you know, on Northern Aegis, bringing a how's it done that winch point? It's a bit weird. Yeah, bringing a what do you call it? An Antarctic all the way to Northern Aegis. That'll take a while. I could just see Australia maps there. Not sure what you said about them, but I agree. Yeah, Outback maps would be great. Yeah, I was saying that for like quite a while. That I can picture it in my head how it'd just be kind of like, yeah, sandy, rocky, little water traps going on, like water across the roadways and a bit of road train action. Australia would be a bloody good one. Get it out, goddamn professional. He got the job done. Even now, do you know what? I didn't even realise until now, but just naturally afterwards while I was rambling away. Like, I made the loaf the lead vehicle, pulling this thing behind me. Excuse me. Like, the loaf's a beast. And he gets it done. He likes these rocks. Well, again, I mean, to be fair, this truck's probably going to get over these rocks pretty well, but the loaf certainly is when he's having a boost. But yeah, a lot of trucks get caught on these rocks, but the loaf is a goddamn professional at getting over them. I just went back to look for the ice block Mr. Lone Wolf be tripping. So, are you saying then that when I towed the truck sideways, I didn't get it round the side of that ice block? I don't know. I was asking. That's not like sarcasm or anything, just for what it's worth. I hate it when it does that winch crap. Like, if you're going to offer me the winch point, just offer me the winch point. Nah, just loaf it out. Drive 3M. Get stuck again. Certainly on some maps it is the nature of things. Drive 3 meters and get stuck again. But imagine life without a loaf. I mean, I can't remember if I can change the bumpers, but I was going to say, considering it's got a long chin, having these like very angled bumpers that like literally stick out to the very edge can catch on a few things. If they were a little bit more rounded off, probably help. Shit, let's get one post. Eric Happy, correct. I'll, like I say, afterwards I'll have a look. I'm just genuinely curious myself. Why is it winch to the size? This game is weird with winch points. Turn in circle of a goddamn housefly. The last time I did this mission, it was the loaf. The loaf got this one done. Unless I was looking at a different ice block. There's basically like just a diagonal piece sticking out of the ground that my bumper was hooked into. And I just thought, when I originally winched with the loaf, the truck sideways, it's like, it looked like I got the bumper far enough sideways that then that block of ice wasn't in front of the bumper. And then when I moved the loaf to do the next winching point, it was just like the truck was exactly back where it was before I winched it. I don't know though, it just certainly was weird enough that it made me notice it and think about it. I used the double wheels for that beast. Do you know what? I nearly did. And well, I bought 2 of them, so we could always try the double wheeled one later. I mean, I can say, yeah, this does feel like a very nice truck. Feels like a, I don't know, maybe like a leaner, meaner Zik 605R in a way. £2 grand. Bit of a rip, but that'll do. Cover that. Recover OG Loaf. Wouldn't have got that mission done without him. Damn professional. Can you imagine that ice and you have to burn fuel trying to get out? Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's the thing with like a lot of the traps and stuff I think they do in this game, is just purposely to make you nail your fuel. A bit like I said with the Death Snow, Super Snow, all that. That's all it does. There's no difficulty in the sense. All I'm doing is squeezing the throttle and driving forward very slowly. The difficulty it potentially factors in then is, now I've nailed too much fuel and now I need to factor fuel into kind of my whole mission, which again is another reason why I always take a loaf with me, because that helps alleviate that. What else? Yeah, well, we've got the yeah, let's see if we've got a login mission on Chimcharuski. There's bound to be something, because I've been doing them recently myself. In fact, sorry, just before I do. Yeah, I did pack it away. It just, you know when you leave a truck, like, out in the garage, and then you change to another map, and then you remember that you've left it here like that. And then you have to load back up. Just to pack it. And then load back. Right, we're on the way. I remember you doing this mission with the trailer on the loaf. Yeah, exactly. He just hooked it up. Got it out the river, hauled it up the hill, got it on his back. The only thing I needed to do, they did have to tag team because the loaf that I originally started with had muds on and I couldn't get up one of the icy hills. In fact, well, I could have, but I already knew by then I wanted to do a video. And what I mean by could have is sat along the snowbank at the edge and gone slow as anything. Like, it wouldn't have been efficient or worth doing. Yeah, brought a loaf with chains and then did it. And it was pretty bloody easy, to be honest. Not gonna lie, the loaf is a goddamn professional. Burning fuel on the petrol station, we might have a bold wolf. Something about a trailer bug. Sell trailer for 0 money returned, and it feels random. Well, do you know what? I'll go and try it now quickly, just to get it off the list. One. And yeah, it's gonna have to buy, I don't know, that one. 14 grand. How much money have I got? Oh, 49,558. So remember 58,600. Now it's 44. Right. Now it's 58, so it's, unless it's certain trailers, I just got my money back then. The thing I was curious for, is it High Boy Log? No. Is it that one? B7? I'm not sure. I think there's supposed to be an extra juicy sized one for the P16. Zix? No, needs mod. No. Aha. Might be that. Off-road. Could have been that. Maybe I've just got even bigger wheels on now. It looked sort of like it sat flush. It doesn't happen when you buy, then immediately sell a trailer. Okay, I've got... What's that down there? Oh, bridge layer. I don't want to go and get that back. Let's go and take this trailer back then. Garage is only like top of that hill, so shouldn't take long. Picture a bold wolf after hard mode, death eyes, no petrol stations on that. Yeah, I wouldn't do well. Not gonna lie. I would bold would be the least of my worries. I think if I did hard mode, I'd just have to use that mod if I can, money cheat it, get 50, 100 million, and then just buy like 1,000 loafs and just systematically place them across the map, like little grid patterns. You don't need to worry about it. Money mod now solves it. True, I'm just curious to see, like, if that is going on. Nice to let people know of the old bugs. It's one of these rare occasions that I actually take a trailer back. It doesn't happen often. Wolf needs to try highway hauling mod. Is that like the map though? Are we on the same page with that? Is that like a map that's just a lot of highway roads and stuff? IDK, hello Mr. Lone Wolf, how's it going, dude? SnowRunner addict. Is that the iceberg? It is. It's a beast. Well worth getting. One of my favourite mods. Find the bloody trailer. Oh yeah, just quickly check. So I'm on 44,500. Oh, wrong button. 44,600. Did I only get 100 quid for that trailer? Maybe. 111. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll look into that at some different time. It's appearing like I am getting my money back. I think that trailer was just only worth 111 quid, which wasn't a lot. Iceberg is so OP that it takes some of the mystique out of the game. Yeah, which is why I wouldn't drive it permanently, but on the flip side, they've also made certain aspects of the map way over the top and beyond realistic, to where every now and then I just want to jump in something that kicks the map's ass, eats it for breakfast, and just lets me cruise around and have a good time without being forced to go 5 miles an hour every 2 minutes. They think this OP, you never saw Monster P16 times 2 tyres on every axle. Is that... Well, that might be the one I've got the trailer on actually, isn't it? Oh yeah, I wanted to try that as well. Will that be like that one? Right. Sawmill blues and plant restoration. Oh, damn it. Sawmill blues. Let's do that one. 4 bricks. Which I can get from up there. Packaged sand I can get from there. Concrete blocks I believe I can get from up here. Oh, metal rolls. Where's the concrete blocks then? Is there any here? Damn, I've got to go all the way down here. Yep. Well, we'll do one trip, grab that stuff, zip it down there. Job's a good one. I suppose we could still take this thing. Well, it's no longer worth... This is the problem with having loads of trailer mods on. There's like a hell of a lot to choose from. So I could do with a 6-slot trailer. Looking for that quad axle one. Don't really want an 8-slot because they're a pain in the arse. Right, where's step deck that's been converted to 6? There's got to be one somewhere. Slot. Only have 8 slots. An 8-slot? How many fucking 8 slots is there? What? Didn't even see the step deck or anything. No, let's abandon that one. Already ruined it for me. And again, what else are we going to take? Well, I really wanted to do the logger mission. You're way too casual with Bronc riding event. Don't even know what that means, dude, to be honest. Gonna have to check. Not much, have to go with the 8-slot. I'm not happy about it, but since it appears every trailer it's offering me is an 8-slot for some odd reason. Well, these kind of trailers, I mean, anyway. Yeah, that's only 5 though, that ruins it. I swear I had a step deck with a quad axle that carries 6 slots of trailer. Yeah, 6 slots of cargo. Not 6 slots of trailer. What the hell is it? Like, where's all the semi-trailers and stuff? Bloody 8. Dude, I honestly don't know what's going on or why half the trailers are missing. I'm just gonna have to go with this then. Six-slot step deck is my favourite trailer, yeah. That's what I was hoping for, but apparently the game has other plans. Like 6 slots. The 8 slots obviously can be for cargo, but it's just such a tosser when it gets hooked on everything. But as we are on the mod playthrough, this P16 does sit pretty bloody high. I believe it is also a raised version of the 8 slot. So if it's going to work, it's going to be with this one. Will do for now. Let's get a bit of sunlight. And then what, we're going to fly down there, grab 2 package sand, 4 bricks, drop it off. Oh, we're going to need metal rolls. Could get that on the way back. Yeah, sod it. It's going to make me have the 8 slot, I might as well use them 8 slots. That trailer mod is out for an update. Ah, cheers, dude. Here comes Mr. Load. Assuming you missed the load. That'll be a typo. Can't leave him behind for this one, just in case. I don't think I've actually tried this double wheel P16 before. I've got the JB, like the single wheel version, which again is one of my favourite mods. I've had that like since it first came out, bloody ages and ages ago. Like one of the first mods out, really. This bit here, I don't know why, it must be coded like, it's not death snow, but it's worse than super snow. Even though you can see there's about like an inch or 2 of snow. Everything is like, has a certain set speed limit, it can go through this bit. Doesn't matter how much power you've got, tyres, etc. It just, everything goes that fast with that. Low, yeah, I thought that's what you meant, dude. My comment moved up. You can have the step deck without high saddle mounting. Oh, but did I have the saddle high mounting? Well, I can't remember. I thought it'd still at least show you the trailer, but just say like incorrect saddle. But yeah, maybe. So it's precisely what I don't like the 8 slot. It's just doesn't make sense for these maps. Now, I don't think I'll tip, but I've had to take a crappy angle going down here because of the 8 slot. We're all good. Oh no, we're all good. And then literally, like, half a second later. It'd be nice if they made the 8 slot at least very, I don't know, accurate with its hitbox. It's like, you see there, it's like this thing when trees touch the side of it, they just morph into the side of the trailer and then lock into the pixels of the trailer. It's a bit weird, but yeah. This trailer's pretty bad for it. Just went out, I was just using it before stream. Yeah, true, I believe I turned the mod on before I started this stream, but obviously if it's been removed, I assume it like auto turn it off for me. See what I mean? Just every fucking 2 seconds it's like, oh, what's it hooked on now? Just cannot help itself. don't turn off a mod even if it's out for updates, you can still use it. Oh, well, I don't know then, to be honest. In fact, yeah, it's probably true, because that Azov iceberg, I took the trailer back, I believe that was the 6-slot step deck, what actually did. So unless it just somehow vanished from me in the last few minutes, I don't know. It's probably just not offering it on this truck, maybe, for some reason. That was a little couch destroyer, Mr. Lonewolf. He was all good. He was chilling out earlier, and then literally like 5 minutes before I start the live stream, he turns up, and it's like, oh no. He has impeccable timing. But I think because it's pretty hot tonight, he's just kind of lounging around. He's pretty quiet, so... certainly still wrecking sofas. I was saying this to my mum the other day though, because I've got like a scratch post for him. But for anyone that owns cats, who they probably claw your couch, sofa, whatever instead, the amount of force they have when they're ripping their claws into a sofa is like, a scratch post isn't good enough because it'll just fall over. Like, I need to invent some kind of scratch post that you just stick on the corner of your sofa. But I think that's why cats love doing it on sofas, because the sofa's big enough that there's enough resistance that they can like really dig their claws in and pull. Because I believe they're trying to like shed the outer layer of claw off their claws, so they need a good bit of resistance for it. Don't text and drive. That's true. Do you know what? Like when I'm driving, I never text and drive and never talk on the phone while driving, and it's purely because I know it's illegal, but so are a lot of things. I don't feel comfortable whilst texting and driving. Like I don't like how little attention it leaves me to pay for what I'm doing when I'm driving. Like that's one thing at least I would say, like even when I was driving the M5, I had my little moments where I went pretty quick and all the rest of it, but I was never like, on the phone and not paying attention. Like if I was ever going driving, that was my priority, kind of at least pay attention to what I'm doing. And I'm not saying it should be legal either, but some people can talk on the mobile phone and drive, and it makes no difference. They just seem to be able to do it. I really don't. I don't know. Like, Furballs like it hot. I don't know. He's a bit of a massive furball. Imagine having like a giant fur coat on when it's 30 odd degrees, etc. Well, this is a little bit slow through here, but I'm not sure if that's the bit of daylight. Why little, why not? Made it to the stream. Don't roll your ankle. I appreciate it, dude. It was hurting quite a bit again earlier, but now it's kind of alright again. Sort of had a bit of a second wind on the go. See, normally I'd be able to go through here, but I already know the trailer is going to make this an awkward sod. We're going to try it anyway because we're stubborn, but it's not going to go well. Now it's going to hit against that. See? Lamppost near me really not windy. Figured it out, 92 degrees Fahrenheit is 33.33 degrees C. yeah, it's pretty toasty then. Cheers for working it out. If I'll try and remember that. So 92 is 33.33. If I just have that as a rough ballpark, I'll kind of know that. Hotter than 92, bloody hot. Start getting lower than 92, just getting better. Scratching post, they love it. Well, like I say, I've got one, but he never touches it. But he did once or twice, and then I think it just, yeah, near enough like he's going to tip over on it. And then he just uses the sofa, which obviously doesn't move. But even when I'm sat on the sofa, and he's scratching the crap out of it, like, the sofa's moving around a bit and everything. Well, it's a recliner seat thing I'm on, so there's a bit of movement in the frame, but, you know, he's got some pull, like, way more than a scratch post is going to allow him to do. If they made the base on the scratch post massive, so he was probably stood on the base at the same time, maybe, but they never make the base wide enough, so it just tips over on them, I think. Don't read chat and drive. True, I'm there. Crash into loads of stuff from trying to read chat. And that's a lot of the reason, like, crashes that I do have on chat, on Livestream, where I roll, or like that bit that I always fall into the ice on Cosmodrome. Part of it is, yeah, I'm just trying to read the comments as much as I possibly can. And I'm not looking where I'm going. I don't know why, this thing's feeling like it's going pretty bloody slow. I know I'm in high-low there, but I just mean generally, even through that yard. I thought high range and that would have been more possible through there. You know you're getting older when you realise you can injure yourself walking. Exactly, I can injure myself. I can go sleep with the neck of a 20-year-old and wake up with the neck of a 50-year-old for no apparent reason. I remember when I was younger and people used to say, yeah, when you're that age, you're fine and all the rest of it, like you just, and I don't know, kind of felt like they were over-exaggerating a bit, but they weren't. I can confirm, I'm only 32, I think. I don't know, early 30s, somewhere around there. Honestly, that's another thing. As a kid, I always like, when people were like, oh yeah, I can't remember how old I am, or they have to think, I used to think, how the hell can you not know your own age? Now being something early 30s, I get it. Yeah, once you hit, everyone said once you hit 30, and honestly, when I hit 30, I started getting injured more easily, took longer to heal, put a bit of weight on, not much, but it was just like, in my 20s I was bulletproof, I could eat anything, and I wouldn't put a gram on, and then I hit 30 and it was just like, oh, turns out if you eat a lot of Chinese takeaways, put a bit of weight on, and I had to stop. Oh yeah, I don't need the logging station, do I? I'll just kind of, a bit of a shortcut, well, I'll say a shortcut. I didn't really fancy taking this 8 slot across that awkward rock ledge around that broken bridge. You're in low gear. Yeah, I know I was for that bit, but I just meant like, it's because it wasn't really climbing up the auto or maintaining in high, so in the end I was like, sod it, I'll just put it in high-low, but I thought it would have allowed me to be in high more often. Bolt it to the floor, true. To be honest, if it was my flat, I would. Don't know what the landlord would say about bolts being drilled through. Plus my granddad in the flat below probably, not sure what he'd say. Seen bolts getting threaded through his roof. Sounds more like your cat has phobia. If you can pull over the post onto his head and when you use the post, big base. I've got to be honest though, cats are pretty notorious for, like, they just prefer using the sofa. My last cat did it. That had a scratch post, but it did also use, to be fair, but it just 80% of the time used my sofa. That being said, my cat has a phobia of everything. Like, 3 or 4 years, well yeah, about 3 years ago, I took a sip of my coffee, I was just putting the cup back on the floor. And you know, cats have that tendency, like, as how they run in front of cars and stuff. If your leg's just moving or you're putting something down, they suddenly rush quickly. He tried to run under the cup. And I didn't whack him on the head with it. Like I said, I'm just placing my cup back down on the floor, not violently throwing it at the floor. The cup touched him. 3.5 odd years later, he does not trust my coffee cup. He eyeballs it with disdain. And he doesn't like going near it. And that's because it touched him 3.5 years ago. And like I said, he hates everybody except me. My mum comes round, well, my mum's obviously been popping around here and there for 3.5 odd years, 4 years. He's finally kind of looks around the kitchen door and might walk into the same room as her, but it'll be like an 8-foot standoff that he is definitely getting no closer. Landlord suspects a stripper pole. True. To be fair, my landlord, pretty chilled. Not that I ever see or hear from him, but that's what I mean. He's pretty chilled. My dad used to work for them, and we kind of know them. I wouldn't go as far as to say I know them, like, to be just chatting away in the shop if I seen them queuing up or something, but yeah. So it's pretty cool. £61.11. Do you mean you weigh £61 and you're 11 years old, or what would I weigh in pounds? Is stone, is it like, it's stone and then pounds, isn't it? I'm guessing I'm somewhere around 13 stone, 12, 13 stone. Again, I've not weighed myself on the scales for a while, and I've put a bit of weight on, say, in the last 5 years, but not a hell of a lot. Just, I used to be pretty skinny. Now I'm just kind of not skinny. And yeah, I used to weigh between like 10 and 11, so I'm assuming I'm around 12, 13 max, I would have thought. So what's that? I don't know. Is there 14 pounds to a stone? Honestly, I don't know. When you see a lot of like small, skinny women, it seems to be like £100, £120. So yeah, I'm assuming I've got to be like, I don't know, 160. I've never worked it out in pounds, to be honest. Or kilograms. We're weird. In England, we kind of pick and choose between the metric and the imperial system. Like, we're happy to adopt meters and centimeters and all that, although feet, yards, country miles, that kind of thing are perfectly acceptable. Well, yeah, years ago they suggested changing miles to kilometres over here. It was near enough of national outcry. £6.085/190. Is that like your height? I think I'm around dead on 6 foot. And yeah, again, I don't know, like, I'm guessing 13 stone, so if that's 13, what, 13 times 14, so 140, 170, about, oh, maybe then, yeah, maybe like £180 I weigh. God knows. Oh, there you go. 13 stone equals £182. Cheers, man. That might be roughly what I weigh then. Again, I don't know, but I used to weigh... It varied between 10 and 12. It's kind of bad, but it's genuinely true. I used to have a multi-gym, and obviously, like, just use that at home. And I used to use it every day. And I had something to eat, and then I was planning on using the multi-gym. And let's just say nature called. Back then I did have scales. and I weighed 11 stone 12, and then, to put it bluntly, I had a shit, and then I weighed 11 stone 9, and then I didn't exercise that day because I decided that I'd lost 3 pounds, and that was enough. There's a true story. I was well happy as well when I didn't have to exercise that day. Like, yes. Gigantic shit for the win. Oh god, see, this is the other thing. Getting this 8 slot out here is going to be interesting, to say the least. Might even be worth just going back out the other way. Talking about silly units, stone, that's some of the most ridiculous units ever. I will agree on that one. Well, I don't know though. It's quite handy for... We only ever really use it for people's weight. Never really hear it crop up in anything else, like, you know, food measurements, all that, we're on like grams and all that sort of stuff, fluid ounces maybe and all that, but stone I've only ever heard in the context of people's weight. Which, if it is stone and pounds, I don't think it's that bad, because if you guys use like pounds, I mean, yeah, that's just like the next step up. That's like saying you're 1 metre 80 instead of 180 centimetres. But nonetheless, I think, as far as stones go, we are. I don't know. I don't know. Is there any other countries that use the stone measurement, like commonly? You do it, trailer. 1 stone is 14 pounds. Yeah, I thought it was. So that's what I mean. It's not that crazy. I'm surprised you Americans haven't adopted it. I'm surprised you didn't invent something else called rocks. It's just slightly different for no apparent reason, just to make life a little bit more awkward. Like I said, nobody knows if it's the 1st of February or the 2nd of January when it comes to just short written dates. It's all because you guys just put the month and the day the wrong way around, like sandwiches. Boost for the win, exactly. I mean, I can feel like I didn't want to risk losing any more weight. Might be unhealthy at that point. Imagine if I lost 4 pounds in one day. Fair enough, but I mean, in the global sense, nobody outside understands it. No, I fully agree. I'll take that one. Like, I do think your way of doing the months and that is silly, and I agree. Stone is a bit of an ancient one that practically the rest of the world, it appears, just doesn't use. But it is funny how much of the world still uses pounds as quite a common thing, but like I said, stones is just the next step up. But yeah, it's like everybody else gave up at pounds, we stuck it out. What else? Oh yeah, concrete blocks, that's what I need. Will you ever do a face reveal? It's absolutely fine if you don't. I'm willing to, but I'm going to have to reach some much bigger subscriber goal, I reckon. And then I'd be willing to do a face reveal. I mean, as of right now, if I'm honest, lack of funds and equipment are, like, there's a lot of things that I'd like to get a PC sorted, and then obviously the whole webcam situation would be easier. I'm sure I could buy some kind of webcam thing for my PS4, but then I'm planning eventually to get a PC, so there's not much point in buying one for the PS4 and then I'll need one for the PC or whatever, I don't know. So yeah, like, I am theoretically could entertain the idea. Yeah, nobody talks about furlongs and rod chains either. I've never heard of rod chains. Furlongs I have. I suppose we still use that a lot in the horse racing, like 16 furlongs or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but it rings a bell. I'm just not exactly a horse racing specialist. £190, 13.57 stones, 185 centimetres, 6 foot. 1.07. Yeah, I'm about 188 centimetres, I think, so maybe I might be getting on for 6'1", but I don't know, maybe that's one of them where when I first wake up, I might be able to squeeze 6'1" on a good day, but you kind of shrink a little bit, don't you, throughout the day. So I'd probably average near a 6, I would have thought, but yeah. On a good day, on a long, stretchy day, I might make 6'1". Funnily enough, math question asked for distance and chains. Oh, is that rod chains thing? What is a rod chain then? I don't think I've ever even heard of that. Certainly not, like, twigging anything in my mind. See, you got a goddamn professional with you. Gotta have the horse. Just in case. Right, which way do I can cross over here and start heading that way. I could follow, yeah, it's a bit long to follow around there and go down that way. May as well just go the normal way. Chains can be converted to rods to inches. Yeah, that's what she said. Jason Moffat, what's up? How's it going, dude? Having a good old drive with the, well, it's the JBE P16. Bit of an older mod, to be honest. I did kind of, I believe, put in the title for this that I was using newer mods, and I am for the most part. Just got a bit sidetracked. Well, I wanted to do a login mission with a mod that is a P16 login trailer, but now all my login missions are locked until I complete this and planet restoration. So that's kind of titsed that one up a bit. So after this, I don't know, we can have a little whip around with that new Hummer, like the H1. When I first wake up, I didn't think you ever sleep. It's true. Not as well as I'd like to. Although the last couple of weeks I have actually fell asleep on the sofa a few times, which is very rare for me. So, I don't know, maybe it's a good sign. That being said, I've still been sleeping like shit, so I don't know. So again, I just thought this would be a little bit more oomph through this sort of snow. Feels like it's been set to a speed limit, like, again, regardless of grip and all the rest of it. Is it going to let me up high? It is, but and it's just bleeding it in wheel spin, really. I'm sure to a degree if I disconnected the trailer. So now I've found these little, like, grooves in the snow. It picked up. It's a chain with a rock tied to it. But how long is a piece of string? That's the question. Jason Moffat, it's going good. I love this game. Good, man. Good to hear. And it is. As much as I do have a lot of little niggly issues with it, it's yeah, an extremely good game. And if you think value for money wise, the amount of hours I've spent on it divided by what I've spent on the game, so what's it, 60 quid for the game. I suppose now I have spent another 20 for the Season Pass 2. I don't know, like 10 quid on all the little DLC trucks that have come out. So what's that, 80, 90 quid? And yeah, well, I've spent a lot more than 900 hours. Don't think I've quite made 9,000 hours yet, but probably getting on for pennies an hour. That's what she said, jokes. The real reason I became a fan subscriber. Just can't help it, it's too easy sometimes. And it feels rude not to. Well, it's weird, like, normally, well, I still am, like, a very shy person, and I don't like public speaking. That is, like, my worst nightmare. It's kind of funny how, I don't know, generally speaking, I'm pretty relaxed chatting on here with you guys. Partly it's thanks to you guys, because you're pretty cool people, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I need to say it, because if I don't, someone else will. And they'd be right to. been pretty good with the winch points tonight. Like, they've been reasonably close to whatever it is I'm planning on winching to. That P16 with those tyres in real life would go anywhere at full speed. Yeah, exactly, that's kind of the... Oh yeah, that's the thought I was having as well. It's just too much meaty chunkiness and power not to. Like, it'd either go everywhere until whatever it is that does stop it, stops it. But I kind of feel like until then, it'll be running at about 99% efficiency and speed and all the rest of it, and then it's just, yeah. But again, I don't feel like it's the mod, it just feels like the terrain itself has been designed to just not let anything go, which may be the developers' like response to some of the mods to almost then nerf the mods on these maps as well. In fact, yeah, that would make sense as to why I've been saying recently, like, it feels like they've coded the terrain to affect the vehicle rather than the vehicle stats itself. Maybe that is, like, as their way of being able to nerf mods at the same time. I don't know, just a thought. Why the name origin of your gamer tag, please? Yeah, I used to be called, for a little while, what was it? Carry Monster. Every now and then, on a game like Call of Duty, the old Carry Monster comes out, get everyone up on your shoulders, and you carry them across the line. But, I don't know, I was looking for, like, just a name for a channel. Oh yeah, fuel. See, that's why you get a horse. I had Lone Wolf Gaming or something in mind, but then when I looked on YouTube, there was like 8 other channels called some very close variation of Lone Wolf Gaming. And, yeah, I was playing a game, what was it, of Call of Duty years ago in, I can't remember what it was. I took it in one hit. Normally it kind of, yeah, does it in little sections. I can't remember what the mode was. What's the mode where you gotta like defuse a bomb and you only get 1 life? But anyway, it ended up as me, like 1 versus 4. And I believe I was called Lone Wolf or something then on my gamer tag on Call of Duty. And someone went like, oh look, it's Lone Wolf. And just as they said that, I double shot 2 with a sniper, tomahawked 1 and then sniped the last guy, and I just said something cocky like, it's Mr. Lone Wolf to you, and then it was just one of them things. After I looked at Lone Wolf Gaming and there was loads of names, I was like, oh, tried It's Mr. Lone Wolf. And, yeah. There was only me. I was like, cool, that'll do. It's a unique name. I mean, in theory, it wasn't necessarily set in stone, but I suppose now it's... Yeah. Just, I might... Yeah, I mean, it'll do. We'll keep it around. See some in rigs that were converted to trailers. I can't see what else. I remember this months ago, was that the, yeah, origin of my name? Awesome Robert. I didn't see what was going on for a minute there, sorry. Aussie man, Saturday night, home watching, play a video game. Obvious, I have no life. Well, I'll be in the same gang as that then. I never go out. I like playing games. Oh, like I said, when I was a teenager, I did a hell of a lot of going out. And I wouldn't exactly say it's more fulfilling. Or less. Now you're getting into like, what's the meaning of life? Enjoy yourself while it lasts. But they don't last forever. Don't take life too seriously, because you'll never get out alive. It's it's a genuine, like, I remember having this discussion with someone who were like, for example, if they travelled to another country and they went, you know, climbing a mountain in some, I don't know, Peru or whatever. I don't even know if Peru has mountains. They best do, for the sake of this conversation. Yeah, or completing a video game. Which one is more fulfilling? And it's a good question, because I don't think there is a right answer. Like, some people might have a platinum trophy on a game that is extremely hard to get a platinum trophy. And that is an achievement. And if it makes them happy, then good for them. And I gotta be honest, I'd rather have a platinum trophy on a really hard to complete game than a picture of me up a fucking mountain in Peru. Like, I could just Photoshop myself into a mountain in Peru. And then I've still got the same photo to enjoy. But I didn't have to pay to go there, didn't have to climb the mountain. It's a win-win. Probably get another platinum on another game with the time I save. I've seen, back then we had a, like, was it a Detroit diesel or something? Quad turbos and twin superchargers. That one of them back in my day. So again, this is the main thing they just have to improve with the 8 slot. Make the sides just slippy. Oh. That's why you don't read chat and drive. I know it's Tracy doll. What that's all about. Sounds a bit suspicious to me. I never play games. No, hence my name, SnowRunner. That's the thing though. It's like, I think that's a perfectly, like, reasonable, good, justified way to spend your life. People enjoy playing games, play it. That's what I mean, it's your life. I sort of get the impression, you know, like, from a government standpoint, that the more money people make, the more they make in taxes. And there's this air of like, or you've got to be productive, you've got to do productive things in your life or you've wasted it, and it's like, yeah, they end up being productive for you, and you're fucking the tax man. But, I don't know. Like I said, perfectly reasonable if people want to spend their life playing games, they fucking look to it. I do. The other nice thing with games though, you got all sorts of games, is like, I mean even stuff like Grand Theft Auto. I might be curious of what it's like to rob a bank and have a police shootout. Well, I'm obviously not going to do it in real life, I'm not an idiot. But now, that car actually moved, most of them don't. Yeah. Now I can do it on Grand Theft Auto, and then when I die, I just respawn at a hospital and go and do it again. All sorts you can do in games that you don't get to try in real life. I mean, this, I'm never going to be driving this sort of trucks and cargo around. Oh yeah, I'm going back over there, aren't I? I know it's not the real thing, but as close as I'm going to get, it'll do. Helps me squeeze more in. That's what she said. It's not about the photo though, innit? It's about the experience, in my opinion, and that could be a game, I agree. Yeah, no, I do agree, I was kind of being a bit of a piss taker with the photo, but I'm just saying, for me personally, going somewhere to climb to the top of a mountain to get a photo of me on the mountain it means nothing to me. And I don't mean that in a bad way, like to other people that'll mean a lot, and then to them it's like the right decision. For them it just, for whatever reason, travelling, all that kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, if I won the lottery and I was a millionaire today and all that, there'd be some places I'd like to go without a doubt, but I don't know, like I said, I'm a bit of a shy, quiet, sort of introverted person. I'm up at night and stuff anyway, so travelling around doing all that. I've got a picture of me up a mountain in Ireland when I was like 11. You can see the cranes in the background that built the Titanic. Now, we went to visit my grandma, my stepdad's mum, in Ireland. She woke us up at 6 in the bloody morning, drove us to this mountain. She was dressed up like she was ready to hike the mountain as well. And then we got out of the car, she walked 10 foot, sat on a bench, and then went, go on then, off you go. And it was like, fucking what? You got me up at 6 in the morning so I can climb a mountain and you ain't even climbing it. So I had to go up there and get a photo. To be fair, it was cool. It was a good time. It was a good time staying over there. She had a nice house, awesome looking garden, like all just mature garden, like big massive trees, like creeping conifers going across the garden, all sorts. And it was in Ireland, middle of nowhere, kind of looked pretty bloody good. Sarah Smith, oh damn, I missed the first half. It's all good, we're still going. As well. What have we got? Warehouse. Fuel's getting a little bit low, we got anything nearby? Oh my god, GMC 9500, what the hell was I doing in one of them? What was I doing in one of them? Well, we'll keep going for a minute. Just looked up, it's Tracy Doll. She made 2 God of War videos 3 years ago and has 534 subs. How the heck does that happen? I have no idea. It's a bit odd, I think, sometimes with the way subs and everything, well, like exposure, obviously YouTube, I think, have their various preferences. Like, before I even really started a YouTube channel, I'd made comments on various videos that probably didn't help, and I've done nothing like racism, I don't see the point in any of that. Just, I don't know, you know, like, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. They don't seem to like those kind of comments. Angela Merkel was shaken once, so they did say it might be the spirit of Hitler trying to escape. I think that one helped. They're only jokes, but yeah. I think once you get put on the list, the YouTube, they kind of bury you a little bit. And I think I have been buried. But that said, I'm still not complaining, like, the channel's been doing way better than I could have imagined. Like, 15 months ago, I was on, yeah, like 192 subscribers. So I never imagined I'd be in, like, yeah, 7, nearly 8,000. Today I was buying a Tacoma. What make is that again? I've heard of them. It wouldn't say Toyota Tacoma, but I don't know. Could be wrong. Out there on the field, we get close to, oh, it worked out pretty nice. I wanted to get to there and then I could have met. I want to know, what is this, a proper just, yes, I was just wondering, is it like the electric conversion? Oh, bloody hell, is it? Help with the turn all-wheel drive on, I suppose.
have way more subscribers. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, it's been doing extremely well. I just think, yeah, I mean, I swear in videos a bit and all sorts. I've still said other various things which, you know how sensitive, like, you know, the YouTube space in general is, so it don't take a lot before. And obviously they have, like, their algorithms scan your videos for what you're saying each time, and there's certain keywords that just get flagged up, and it'll... A bit like when people get sort of their videos, not necessarily demonetized, but where it gets... Well, yeah, sort of, where it gets apparently lowered down to, like, yellow instead of green, so it's not as monetizable. Even though my channel isn't monetized, I assume there's still the equivalent kind of system going on, and I should imagine a fair chunk of my videos would get demonetized. And yeah, like I said, I think subscribing helps in, like, say, I know I'm not quite there, but let's say I was on 8,000 subscribers. When I make a new video, in theory, it should recommend my video to those 8,000 subscribers. But then I reckon, as a ballpark figure, I get like another 8,000 people who aren't subscribed that it will also recommend my video to. So then if I had 20,000 subscribers, it'd give my video to another 20,000 random people. Random, but, you know, probably like are in the gaming and stuff is what they watch on YouTube, etc. So I just think that's how it helps, as in, like, obviously to go to the top of the tree, once you're the size of PewDiePie, it's just, you know, YouTube will automatically recommend his video to probably, like, you know, 10 or 20% of the entire YouTube base. Honestly, Toyota and Honda is AKK. That's left, that's good. German cars have gone to shit, British cars have gone to shit, American cars, British cars have gone to shit. What, you mean there was a time where they weren't? Our biggest issue with British cars was basically like management and the oh yeah, I don't need to tow it, I'm just refueling it now. Just management and strikes, all that sort of stuff. Like, they just, yeah. Like, all the unions and all the rest of it got way too over the top, over striking every 5 minutes, and it was just built, cars were built, for the most part, like a piece of shit. I would say there was exceptions, Rolls-Royce and that, for example. I think it's fair to say they're pretty well made, but now they are made by Germans, and I'm not going to lie. I'd probably rather a German made my Rolls-Royce than an Englishman. I mean, the Germans, my God, they can't win a world war, but they know how to build some pretty reliable machinery. I will say, modern stuff I don't know as much, and I appreciate a lot of the newer stuff has just got so many gadgets and things on them. And planned obsolescence is a thing now, where things are designed to break after a while, like an old school Mercedes or BMW. BMW have a bit of a reputation for not being that reliable. I've honestly owned 5 or 6 in my life, and considering the amount of pasting they got when they were driven, they've been absolutely bulletproof. Like, but again, talking older ones, the most delicate was probably the M5, and that was the newest one I've ever driven, so... YouTube videos, something before Google owned it. I've never seen a PewDiePie video. I've seen a couple, not many though. I wouldn't go as far as to say his stuff gets recommended into my video feed. But you add up all the slightly, you know, younger generation kind of kids to early 20s, I bet a lot of them still get recommended PewDiePie stuff, even if they're not necessarily watching it anymore or whatever. But yeah, I think that's roughly how it works. And then maybe as well with, like, the like to dislike ratio. I heard somebody say that even if you get a dislike, it still overall improves. I don't know, it's just, it's good for the algorithms because it's still interaction with the video. I mean, obviously the ratio probably matters. Like, if you had 100 likes and 100 dislikes, the algorithm would probably recognise that that's a pretty bad ratio. But if I had, say, 100 likes and 1 dislike, I don't think that dislike has a negative impact. I think at that ratio, it just considers it, you know, that's somebody's opinion of the video. They didn't like something about the video, which is obviously fair enough. 10 grand, not the best, but it'll do. Right. I wouldn't mind checking out this Hummer. Which bloody way are we rotated? That's the one. Audi's a VW plastic with fancy badges. Potentially, yeah, I know what you mean. That's the thing, a lot of companies, they all own each other now, don't they? Like a lot of Lamborghinis are obviously owned by Audi, and I mean, not to say they don't look bloody nice, I wouldn't say no to a Lamborghini Aventador, but yeah, just like, I don't know, the V10 noise and all that. The Italian insanity of the Lamborghini has been, like, the edge has been taken off by the German sensibility. That being said, never drove a Lambo, so, you know, typical YouTube commenter there. I'm an expert at everything I comment on. I wanted to try this out, because obviously the Hummer H2, I mean, I don't dislike it, and within the game it's a pretty good scout, but it's just not that useful, like, especially once you've, well, I wouldn't really recommend scouting in a Hummer H2. I do my scouting in a truck, because it's just better. Yeah, a lot of cars have plastic now, they certainly do. Back in the day, again, funnily enough, a Beamer, yeah, a 525 E34 5 Series Beamer, that was when we were turning round, bumped into a wall, and because the whole bumper was metal with like these big metal shock absorber things going into connected to the chassis, it knocked a big fat stone wall down, and it literally left, like, you could pretty much blow the dust off the corner of the bumper and it was fine. By comparison today, the bumper would obviously deform around the wall, which is good for people's legs, but I've got to be honest, if I'm in the Beamer and it's your legs, I'd rather my Beamer survives. If I'm getting hit by a Beamer, I'd rather my legs survive. I'm just going to go for a quick drive with this, nothing too crazy. There's not a lot of missions I can really do with this anyway, if I'm honest. It feels pretty good up to now, though. Don't know what she said. It's not going fast to the point where it's driving like an idiot, though. It's keeping its speed pretty nice. I assume on this snow coming up it'll slow down, because this snow just seems to be coded to, yeah, this speed. For I don't know why, but it is. I know how you can make lots of money, Mr. Lone Wolf. Only fans your cat. Could they? A picture of his fluffy bollocks. Probably raking some money. I think I've said it before, but when obviously, well, yeah, my cat that I originally had, or kind of inherited, because I looked after it, it got run over, and then like my mum, my brothers, sisters, dad, and a friend and that chipped in and got me this cat, and it was supposed to be a girl, like it was, and I probably would rather have had a boy cat, but yeah. And then he grew some bollocks, and he was a boy. What a legend. I mean, if that's not dedication. He grew a pair of bollocks just to try and cheer me up. It's the only time I ever want anybody to grow a pair of bollocks to cheer me up. Let's just have that on record. SnowRunner addict, I like that truck. Is that this one you're on about, or... overall, I have to say, like, I'm chatting away while I'm driving around, but this feels pretty good. I'll probably be keeping this. Feels, I don't know, just quite a nice balanced pace to it. It's getting a little, oh, I don't know, I like a little bit of drifting. But yeah, it's not going super fast where it's like just insane. In real life, I think this is perfectly acceptable speed for a Hummer to be going on this sort of terrain, if you wanted to. Just like, yeah, even through here, it keeps more of a truck's pace than a scout's pace, which I like, to be honest. I mean, you can see how deep the wheels are going. Yeah, I think that's about fair. don't think that was broken levels of too fast through there. Again, if you're comparing it to real life, I think a Hummer can manage, you know, 15 miles an hour through mud like this. Just grow a pair as a true quote then. It is. He literally grew a pair. Slippy slidey. Got a little bit of drift going there, but I quite like that, and the back end steps out a little bit. And to be fair, that's largely the general mechanics of the game than specifically the mods. Just anything that goes fast enough starts to drift. But it wasn't... It's not going so fast that it's pure drift mode. It was like, it's on the edge. And I quite like that. Because I can easily just, you know, feather the throttle for a second or two and it'll drop a few kilometres an hour and stop drifting around. Should have clipped that. Or was that a little drift? Let's try going this way. It's going pretty rapid now, but that is down, kind of, yeah, downhill. I want to see... Oh, beast. Anti-terrorist barricades. Do not mess with them ones. Well, I was going to go for a Duke's hazard jump, but I know I would have hit the invisible wall anyway. But once those barricades at all my speed, no point. And again, as well, I believe I did put the fastest version of the gearbox in. There is obviously slower versions available that would tailor this to anyone who doesn't quite like going this fast. But yeah, I'm liking this, to be honest. It's pretty good. Hummers are rubbish. Ask a soldier. I did. Army has unlimited budget and workforce to fix them. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, rubbish compared to what, though? I'm not necessarily disagreeing with me. Again, I've never driven one. I couldn't say I know. I've watched a few on line and stuff like that. Isn't there? What's the guy's name? Like Cletus McFarland or something on YouTube. Sure, he's had a Hummer thing going recently. Yeah. You beast. I don't... Well, I have got chained on. Kicked around pretty quick there for something that has chained. I mean, I will say though, like, build quality and all the rest of it, yeah, I wouldn't exactly say I've heard great things about Hummer. I'm not going to lie though, a H1 Army Hummer does look pretty cool. And it's going to off-road better than your average off-roader, I would have thought. Certainly looks like they can. Yeah, this vehicle just feels nice to go for, like, just a little, you know, drive around, bit of exploration. Like, this pace is fine through these sort of boggy bits, but then it actually picks up a nice bit of speed. You can move on to the next bit. Well, Hummers are GM, so is anybody surprised? Soldiers say they are crap. I remember seeing, I might have mentioned it the other week, that video though where some guy like sabotaged the parachutes of 3 Hummers that were being airdropped, so they just splattered the floor. And yeah, I'm sure it said something like he got demoted his rank for that fight. Is that it? It's probably worth it, to be honest. As in debating whether it's faster to quick march versus stopping to fix it along the way. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. So you're basically saying quicker to just get somewhere versus stopping and fixing it. I don't know. I probably am the kind of just wing it. Try and get to my destination and worry about it once I'm there if I can make it. This bit here, by the way, is pure death snow. Everything goes this slow through here. In fact, that little burst of speed there was rare. So I'm not going to knock this for that little bit. I don't know why this one little patch is just... It might even be beyond death snow. Went all Mad Max beyond Thunderdome on us. I'm pretty sure you hate the way controls feel. With me? What do you mean, hate the way the controls feel? better than a KIA, killed in action. That's true.
Something general, the H2 and H3 at GM. Different thing, I'll grant you the H1 has a GM power plant.
I think as far as like, especially say in the UK with Hummer fans as such, I wouldn't go as far as saying I'm a fan, but you know what I mean. Like I think we all kind of know and respect the Hummer H1. The Hummer 2 is a little bit of a gimmick and looks a bit funny. It's funny to see in the UK because it's just gigantic by comparison to pretty much anything we've got. The Hummer H3, I don't think I've seen one in real life. I've seen pictures and that. Didn't they go bust or something like when they were in the middle, or just started selling them or something? Cool if it could climb up here. Yeah, it's more grip that. We'll see. Give it one go a bit over to the left. Something to lift that bumper up. Really? Oh, so it must just have an invisible hitbox or something. Well, anyway, overall, so I'll probably recover this in a minute, but yeah, I actually think this is pretty cool, worth getting. I wasn't too sure when I've seen it for the last couple of weeks or so in the mod thing, and I was kind of like, well, I don't know. To be fair, I'm not as much in the market for Scout mods as I am truck mods. But yeah, this actually, I'll be keeping it. GM sold the Hummer brand to a Chinese car company, oh, did they? Surprised China bought it. Normally they just poach it, don't they, and draw the same thing and then say, what? What do you mean, patent? Which to a degree. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I invented something and they suddenly nicked it and copied it, I'm not going to be impressed, but it is kind of funny how China just, yeah, like they'll have almost an identical looking Range Rover called the Hange Hover or something, and then they're like, what? We didn't copy you. We designed this in 1863. It said so in Chinese literature. Something Chevy Suburban. The H3 is a reskinned trailer blazer. Oh, is it? Like I said, if I was ever going to have a Hummer, it'd be this, the H1, without a shadow of a doubt. But I'd have to be some serious lottery winner before I reach, like, Hummer on my list of cars I'd want to buy. It's definitely on the list, but yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff in front of it. I'm a big fan of a nice Hummer. Certainly worse things to be driving. Oh my god, hang on. Horn's not amazing. To be fair, it's only on a little Scout, so it's not the end of the world. Right, so yeah, that gets a pass. What else was... I'm sure there was other things. That gets a pass though. We can possibly use that again. What was the Bartleby Bandit? Or we can go and lay some bridges. I just grabbed that earlier, the 3194 Derry thing. It's the electric version. But again, they've removed that 600 kilowatt engine, which I'm not too keen on. Not necessarily going to build some bridges, but we'll see. If we were to, where could we build a bridge? I've already built quite a lot on here. Got that bridge smoothed out. Yeah, that's not worth messing around with that one yet. Or anyway, let's have a look.
So there's just so many missions that are locked. I don't really want to do plant restoration. I think that's just driving around on Northern Aegis. Don't really want to do that if I'm honest. Did I do... Oh yeah, I've unlocked that warehouse. So we could do something just to do that mission, or what's this one? Oh, it's just saying about metal beams, isn't it? Right, let's take the bandit. Oh. We're gonna do this mission, it's just an excuse to get something done. Where is it? I was in a H1 sold at auction. Seats hard plastic. Seats is well built to the floor. Oh, seat, sorry, in wells built to the floor. Yeah, you know what, funnily enough, I did see that, I think, on that Cletus video where he was messing around with the Hummer H1. I think I upgraded everything on this just before I started the stream, yeah. H1 is not built for comfort. No, exactly, it's I suppose, yeah, like the old Willis Jeep and that back in the day. So you've seen some footage of someone riding that. It don't look smooth, but probably beats walking. Back in the day, I bet it did. I'd love as well if I was like insanely like Elon Musk rich. I'd want like, you know, a load of old World War II tanks built. I mean the gun I wouldn't say no to, but just imagine like a modern version of a Tiger 2 tank and a Tiger 1. So it looks identical and all the rest of it, but it's made, yeah, with modern materials, so it'll be reliable as anything, powerful. Just imagine owning that, then buy, I don't know, a big piece of land. Go driving around like a lunatic again. Gun, I don't know, I wouldn't say no, but not too sure what the government would say about me having an 88mm cannon on a mobile platform. Annoyed that. Well, I mean, if anywhere's going to let you, it's probably going to be America, isn't it? It's got to be pretty high on the list of, like, can I please have a cannon? Yes, you can. So, we're trying, yeah. In fact, yeah, let's drive along this little way. Oh, down there. Along there. There's apparently, yeah, rocket debris. Go this way. Over there. Gonna have to go back through the sawmill. Grab that. Done. So give us a little test of that. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty decent. All the Bartleby mods I've driven so far. What are you doing, Nutter? Scratching my sofa as we speak. I'm still waiting for the Delta Patriot. I want that mod. What's that? I'm not seen or heard anything about that one, I don't think. Oh yeah, well I don't, I've got to go left here, but it would have been nice to use that.
too bad through there. I know it's a bit slow, but it's like awkward, basically death mud with trees all wedged into the mud as well, so... Oh, in fact... It might take longer, but... I built it. By God, I'm going to use it. But they aren't reliable after being hammered to death and ignored, and often blown up sometimes. Yeah, that's the thing. I'd imagine the Hummers in use by the army are not exactly. Not to say they wouldn't be well maintained. In that sense, they're probably some of the best maintained vehicles on the planet, because the army, in some senses. But yeah, like between maintenance, they've got a pretty rough life. I mean, compared, like, in England, the average Range Rover, you know, never sees more than a... Oh, well, that didn't go well. More than a grass lawn. Uh-oh. Well, that's why I flipped, because the bridge has gone on some mad angle. But good to know. Question is, do it with a loaf actually, because otherwise this thing is going to get 5 million winter points. I bet that just attached to it. Oh, it did it with a trailer. Well, the first half of the bridge worked nice. Rolling isn't really preferable though. It did it on the other side though, didn't it? The bridge kind of sprung up when I got near it. I'm going to say it might get hooked on the rail track there. Try one thing quickly. You know what? Fuck off, trailer. Pain in the arse. Oh, that's good. So I can grab it with a crane as well. That's just... I need to double check. It's not liking lifting it though. Going. Oh god. Oh well, I'll sort that out another time. That's close enough. Right, did he get fatter in the last 2 minutes? Because not rolling me this time when I pick him up. Is there a Season 5 release date yet? Do you know, I don't know, to be honest. I've not heard anything myself, but that being said, I'll be honest, I'm pretty slack in seeking that information out, so yeah. I wouldn't put your money on me being the first to find out. Why am I tipping now and I wasn't earlier? Short on the bloody crate, man. Stop auto-extending it. God knows. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, first things first. Out of all the Bartleby mods, I wouldn't recommend this, because the fact that that was about to tip this, it's not very planted. And the cranes are crap in general. That part isn't really the Bartleby mod fault, but yeah. The fact that the weight of a loaf on a fully retracted crane right alongside the truck is still enough to tip it without even lifting the loaf off the floor. Ooh, that trailer is yeah, pretty bad. And to be honest, that was one of the main reasons why I don't drive the normal Bandit. It's the tippiness of it. It's just not worth the risk. That's why I don't drive the ANK MK38 a lot either, which I really liked that truck when I first got it, and I still do. I like the truck, but it's too tippy. It's just not worth the hassle. And I don't know with this one, but I was going to say the original Bandit was even once it did tip, it was a pain in the arse trying to get back to its wheels. See how I'm, like, I've got 10 gears in this, and I'm being forced to stay in first. Like, I'm tapping L1, it just will not go up the gears. And that's where I think, like, this terrain, say, has been programmed to only let you in first gear. But because I've got 10 gears, that's a very slow first gear. If I had a off-road gearbox now and I had 4 gears, I'd probably get a little bit more out of the first gear. Truck comes with a bigger crane, but still looks like it'll be weak as hell. Which one's that? Sorry dude, I missed it. The max version of the Bandit is way better. Yeah, I'll have to try that out. I've never been a big fan of the Bandit though, so not missing out on a lot. I just seen it that when I was scrolling through like the mods I haven't tried yet. Yeah, this was one of them. We'll get this mission done. Might do one more and then yeah, probably call it a day. Well, I went a bit of a different way, because as you can see there, I went over that bridge. Originally I was going to kind of come down the cliff just behind that bridge, down that road underneath it to here, but I just thought I wanted to try use my little bridge mods. And again, I won't fully hold that against like the bridge laying mod, because a lot of trailers do that if you've left them out for a while, and you drive near them and they just kind of, you know, jump a little bit. And that's what those bridge things appeared to do. And obviously one of them went a bit of a weird angle. I wasn't paying enough attention and I just tipped on it. But I still do like that bridge layer mod. Again, oh yeah, we can go to White Valley. The problem I found with White Valley, I nearly put a bit of jumping off the cliff footage in yesterday's video. It's I don't know, it's like the angle you hit the ramp, you kind of bump and you jump at the start of the ramp, and then you're only just landing back on the ramp as you kind of, I don't know, it'll be easy to explain when I'm there, I suppose. Coming soon from Saber Interactive, a Doom, and SnowRunner crossover game, Blood Runner, explosions and Doom music. It'll be pretty good. Like the slowest paced game, coupled with the, I assume one of the faster paced games. I've not played Doom for a long while. Doom was one of the first games I ever played, but oh yeah, no, I didn't never even put the ramps back up. Yeah, I've not played some of the more recent Dooms, but I've heard good things about them, so it is one of those games that I probably would quite like to get. Oh yeah, so yeah. Around from there. It's a little more than its crane legs. Bandit has a ton of give in the frame. Yeah, true, it does. Nice on rocks for traction, but not great for pulling. No, true, and it's it sort of doesn't help with tipping, because sometimes when you tip, its chassis flex just kind of can spring at the wrong time and it'll kind of flick you over that last little bit that you needed it not to do. JS, hey Mr. Lone Wolf, first time catching a stream, usually have to watch them next day. My internet is very slow. I appreciate you joining us, dude. Good to have you catching me live. Just testing out, yeah, the Bandit. Bartelby's Bandit, which overall, his mods are very good. I mean, this, I can pretty safely say, is a better version of the Bandit. But I wouldn't quite say it's living up to as good as like his Zix 605R, mod, for example, I'll say is like, you know, just in a better class than this. It's not like in Highgate. Rumble strip, exactly. The problem Lone Wolf. The Bandit's frame is just another leaf spring. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, sometimes I had it flex so bad that if you look at the cab now, imagine it flexing over to the left so far that the crane actually got hooked on like the top right hand side of the cab, if that makes sense. But the crane hadn't moved. The cab, the top right hand side of the cab as we're looking at it, reached the middle and hooked onto the crane. Like, it's got insane amounts of flex. See, is it today's my anniversary, so won't stick around long. I can't see who that is, but congratulations, Steve. I assume you mean like married. Does Stevie Wonder have a chain of driving schools in the UK? He might do. Oh yeah, I wouldn't put my money on it though. Well, certainly not him being the instructor anyway. It would be quite ironic though, wouldn't it? If he did own like the UK's biggest like learner driver centre. Pipe dreaming, yeah, 22 years, bloody hell man. A long old time. What was I think I'm 32, so yeah, I was around 10 then. When you got married, pretty crazy. What was I doing when I was 10? I don't know. Probably not far off discovering wanking. So I was up to something. Probably making dens. And I discovered wanking and that was it. Never built a den again. And better things to do. More productive things to do. Would explain your driving? Oh, certainly, if that's the case. Never mind Stevie Wonder driving. It'll be, well, I can't even say it. Pipe dreaming, I like Sarah Smith's better. What's that? I might have missed a few comments. That was messed up how hard that thing glitched when you got the crane to unhook from the cab side. Was that, yeah, can you remember when it did it and it was like, it wedged my cab on the crate? Oh wait, oh no, it's alright. I've not gone past it. We're all good. Sarah Smith. Is that, I assume that is roll on the floor laughing, isn't it? See? I know this modern lingo. I don't. Confuses me, most of it. I recently watched your 3-part I Am Knife videos and I couldn't stop laughing. I appreciate it, man. It took bloody ages to edit them. Right, it was one of the longest compilations to put together. I did like the old tomahawks, or the knives, yeah. I Am Knife, it was a good one. But yeah man, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Sarah Smith, bank robbery statute of limitations anniversary. That is definitely reason to celebrate. I wonder what the statute of limitations is on bank robbery. Would it be 6 years? Like normal? I don't know. Problem is, if you break the law, I don't think you have a statute of limitations, but if you break what they still call the law, but it's actually a statute, an act or a statute, not a law, then yeah. They don't tell you this stuff at school. That's why, like, if you murder someone, you'll get what's called a court de jour, which you'll have a jury. because you broke the law, like, unlawful. But yeah, if you, I don't know, do some, like, I don't know, what's illegal but not unlawful? Say if you grew some weed, that's illegal but not unlawful, so you'd get what's called a court de facto, where the judge is kind of the judge and jury, and you don't get to be judged by your peers. I mean, long story short, it's basically a bullshit way for them to enact more laws than what the umbrella term unlawful allows. So, I don't know, parking tickets. I mean, a parking ticket's fairly serious enough to go court. But say if you did go court to contest a parking ticket then, yeah, you certainly wouldn't get a jury. Pipe Dream, I love that show. When that was on, I was a shoe store manager. What's that? Married with Children. I remember that as a little bit as a kid. To be honest, I wouldn't say I dislike the show. I just, if I'd seen it again now, I'd obviously understand a lot more of the, like, subtle jokes. It's one of those programs where it's sort of worded that you could kind of watch it in front of younger children, and yeah, most of the jokes would just sail over their head. I assume that's what was happening to me. Illegal is a sick bird, unlawful is against the law. Yeah, I mean, really, the law, like, don't cause harm or loss, kind of covers all kinds of things. Don't cause mischief in your contracts and promises, kind of pretty self-explanatory. Don't, you know, try and rip people off. Stick to your promises, all that sort of stuff. But then, yeah, obviously, I don't know. Then they just enact acts and statutes, which is where they can say, oh, you can't park here, you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't know. I mean, a big over here TV license. It's obviously not unlawful, but they would deem it illegal. If you don't pay it, which I don't pay it. I just tell them to fuck off. I don't want to watch your shitty programs anyway. So, and they always have this thing where they say, "Oh, we'll come round with a van that can park outside your house and check." And it's like, you can check all you like, mate, because I don't have access to TV. And yeah, I'm not paying you for the privilege to watch something you forcibly beam into my house. Like, that's like me, I don't know, posting a sandwich through your letterbox and then sending you a bill for it. And demanding, like, well, you took the sandwich. Like, no I didn't. I posted it through my letterbox. Stop beaming BBC at my TV. AI sitting on the couch on 25th anniversary. Did Peggy get out of jail today? Who's been in jail 25 years? Random question, Mr. Lone Wolf. Have you ever heard of The Streets? It's a British rap group. Yeah. Isn't that like, I don't know, Fit But You Know It, Blinded by the Light, all them, yeah. I know what you mean. I reckon you are about an 8 or a 9. Maybe even a 9.5 in 4 beers time. Something like that blue top, shop top you've got on is nice. A bit too much fake tan though, but yeah, you score high. Remember them from back in the day? It must have been like, I don't know, mid-teens when they were about. Well, maybe they're still about now. Certainly not heard anything for a long while. Oh yeah, we built the thing, didn't we? I was just aimlessly driving after that. What else can we do? An upgrade? Oh no, it's only like a calm sentinel thing, innit? I'm probably not going to do this bridge, but we may as well just get there and see what I actually need quickly. Australia is stubbornly old-fashioned. I quite like that in a lot of ways. I found Isle of Man to be quite like that. It feels 20 years behind, but in a good way. But sadly, I went there where, like, say, you know, the internet being a very popular, just, it's like a standard thing most people have, smartphones, all that. I went to the Isle of Man not too long after all that had became the thing, so Isle of Man was still kind of 20 years behind, where, you know, they were like, well, Facebook, fuck that. They didn't really have, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was kind of just, even though I went there in like the 2000s, it felt like they had a late 80s to late 90s feel to it. By now, though, even though it probably does feel 20 years behind, 20 years isn't enough anymore, and it'd still feel like, you know, I don't know, smartphones, or, it's hard to explain, but it just had an old school feel to it. It was pretty nice. JS, exactly, yeah. Ooh, I love those guys. Sarah Smith, it's too hot for new shit in Australia. That's true though, I do agree. Too hot to do most things in Australia. Well, I don't know. If there was some new Spider Killer 3000, I'd be buying that. If your spiders in Australia, I don't know, you need to have a word with them. They are out of control. In fact, never mind spider, everything in Australia is out of control. Well, I don't know what it is with Australia, but you get a stick insect and it's like a 4-foot stick insect that fucking growls and stuff. You get a spider and it's got an 8-foot wingspan and knows jujitsu. You've got a snake and it's deadly enough to kill 8,000 elephants for no apparent reason. I've seen a picture the other day of a mosquito drinking mosquito spray from the nozzle of the can. I mean, kind of crackhead jackass level mosquitoes have you guys got? I'll have to post a meme. You Australians would probably like it. It said something like, people in the north just say to people in the south, oh, why don't you just spray mosquitoes with a mosquito spray? And then it said, yeah, mosquitoes in the south literally drinking the can of mosquito spray. Right, that's the good stuff. That mosquito likes that shit. Spiders are huge, but the humans are short. Well, that's even worse. Now scaled up. That's an even bigger problem. You got used to the crazy wildlife in Oz. It's the politicians that are more dangerous. That's true all over the world. They are the deadliest. Well, have a word with your spiders. Just give them a hint. Like, just saying, if you were going to bite somebody, this guy in power, would be a good start. Do we want to do this one quickly? Metal Rose. Just that I've got to drive there again. It's not that I mind driving there, I don't like doing the same thing repeatedly on a live stream. Like, I'd like to have somewhere where I can choose a different route. I mean, yeah, overall it's better than the normal Bandit, but I wouldn't say I'll particularly be keeping it. Let's have a quick look on some of the maps. 100% facts, it is. I'd argue politicians have killed more people than spiders, snakes and every other creature combined. It's like when people say, oh yeah, humans are the deadliest. It's like, well, hang on a minute. 99.9% of us are pretty fucking good at not killing people. It's the it's the 0.1%, if that are in charge, etc. They're the ones that don't mind a bit of genocide and all the rest of it. What have we got to do on old Cosmodrome? We've not been on here tonight, so it would be quite a nice map to visit quickly. We'll go Cosmodrome, I'll find a mission to do, and we'll probably call it a day. Most famous Aussie export, Kyle is 411. I've got a feeling I know what you're on about with that one. SnowRunner Addict, go to the bathroom and there's something and a taipan in your toilet. What the bloody hell's a taipan? I think I've heard of them. Off the top of my head, sounds like a country. Wouldn't surprise me if I seen Made in Taipan on, I don't know, the back of my phone or something. Yeah, Australia, like I said, I'd really like to visit Australia. It looks stunning, like, in many aspects, but
It's the heat. I'd have to visit in winter. I know that much. SnowRunner addict, deadly snake. Yeah, you see, like say over in England, I think we have got one species of deadly snake, but funnily enough, nearly went extinct, and then they reintroduced it, and it was like, really? Do you not consider a deadly snake nearly going extinct as a good thing? Would you reintroduce it and keep us on our toes or something? I don't really know why, but that's what they went with. Well, it is a fat drive. It'd be a good excuse. Yeah, sod it, let's do it. I'm going to take this... I can't remember the name of the truck. The ugly one. The one I drove at the beginning. This one. Let's take this. Let's get a sideboard. Stick a loaf on it. Can even have a little sideboard. We only need one fuel. Can I have a crane as well or anything? Nope. Could have some kind of supplies. Repair and spare wheel. Why not? Treat myself. We like the danger. You'd have to. Like, and spiders. What do you call them? Dunny spiders that hide under the toilet seat. That's just... that's unsportsmanlike. Oh yeah, don't need a train. Need a crane for a goddamn horse. That's what we need. Yeah, that's just not playing by the rules. Like, that spider wouldn't like it if... I don't know. I hid under a blanket, waiting to bite it in its arse when it's trying to make a web or something. Yeah, like I said, we don't really have anything bad over here. Taipan, oh, most deadly bastard, I missed it. Most deadly something. Oh, is it a snake? In fact, yeah, I think that does now ring a bell in the context of a snake. Probably why I haven't heard the name a lot, because I would just hear snake normally, but I've probably heard it on some wildlife thing where they've named it as like some insane, crazy creature that tries to kill you. Yeah, we don't really have a lot. I had a moth the other day on my neck curtains that had the most magnificent pair of trousers you've ever seen. Now this big crane can't even lift the bloody load. Something severely wrong with this game. Crane strength. It's like every week they just dial it down one more notch. Trying to fat shame my load. Dunny spiders, wait till you get a snake in the toilet. Well, I'd rather not. I might just stick to the UK. Like I said, everything about the UK. The UK is kind of like... if they made a game called The World, the UK would be the tutorial level / level 1. So, if it's a fly, it's just going to piss you off and that's about it. It's not going to, like, lay eggs in your leg and have sex with your foot or something. Yeah, if we have a snake, it's just a gigantic worm and that's about it. It doesn't really do anything. Spiders, they scare the shit out of me, but they are, theoretically, pretty harmless. Nice grunty engine sound on this when it started up, I like it. I think they nerfed the cranes for hard mode. Yeah, they must have done something, because they're just increasingly horrifically bad. I mean, you cannot honestly tell me a massive crane like that couldn't lift a van. Because, yeah, in real life I've seen the little cranes lift cars. Like, a lot of gypsies go around scrapping cars and all sorts, and they have, like, a transit van, tranny van.
with a little high-ab crane thing on it. That is like the small cranes in this game, and yeah, you often see them with like a car that's just been lifted and loaded into the sideboard in the back. Now you've got me checking my toilet. I'd be checking that beat. I'd have like mirrors permanently set up. Something. I could not ever comfortably enjoy a toilet knowing that spiders specifically wait under there so they can bite your ass. And it's not even for fun. Like, I believe those ones are deadly, aren't they? So it's not like it's just a joke. Does it? And it's like, well, it's just a prank, bro. It's like, oh, thanks, now my ass is going to rot off or something. I don't fear spiders or even wolves, but I would hate to be surrounded by a group of meerkats. Wolves, I wouldn't be scared of them beyond the natural amount I think you should be scared of something that could rip your face off. Like, it's a bit weird, like, I mean, even when you think with arachnophobia, like, there are spiders that can kill you, so arachnophobia kind of makes sense. I appreciate, yeah, people, me included, I don't like ones whether it's deadly or not, but again, I don't know that. I can't ask it, like, are you definitely not deadly? I might have a bad reaction to it. What if it just bit a spider that is deadly, and then it drank a bit of that juice, and then now it tries to inject me with that juice? I can't remember, but there are creatures that do that. Like the cone snail or something random like that. It eats other poisonous things and, like, saves up the venom into some super venom. Pretty clever. Jason, what's up everybody? Hello Mr. Lone Wolf. I'm good dude, hello, how's it going? Cheers for joining us on the old stream. Got this fat old beast out. It kind of reminds me, to be honest, a bit like a bigger... It's a cross between the flat-faced Kolob and that new... Oh crap. Is it? Yeah, the Zix 605R. It's definitely got the kind of flat-faced Kolob front end and chin looking. Other than that, I believe it's, yeah, kind of like the Zix. Like the D-Series truck from Mudrunner. Sarah Smith, set up system so you can press a button and fire just farts out all over the roof. Sorry, all over through the gap between the seat. Yeah, do something, exactly. Do more than farts. Like napalm. Have a little flamethrower that just fires off for a second under the toilet seat, that's what I need. Either that, or I would get extremely proficient at, I don't know, hover pooing. Somehow be able to levitate 3 foot off, just, well bang, 2 seconds later I'm in and I'm out. That thing ain't even got time to get its fangs out. Again, by the way, that bridge just makes that bit so much better. So much easier, more enjoyable. Ever seen the story where an innocent Peter spider was bit by a radioactive human? It's pretty violent. They should make a film about that. That sounds pretty interesting. What's up, Wolf? My man, how are you doing tonight? Bane. Yeah, not too bad, cheers, dude. How are you doing? Yumi, I hate mosquitoes, flying, dreadful things. Yeah, we have some here. Again, you don't really hear of, like, malaria and that as a problem here. Sure. It's not, you know, been unheard of, but yeah, other than just pissing you off a bit, they're not really an issue. Like, the biggest killer in England is probably, like, wasps from people that are allergic to wasps. Like, yeah, that kind of... Most people, it's just you get stung and that's it. For the odd rare person, it messes them up. Pipe dreaming. Alright, man, have fun, catch you later. I appreciate it, dude. Happy anniversary again. And, yeah, enjoy the day with your wife. Get yourself a loaf. Exactly. Get yourself more. Might have to make that a plural from now on, but yeah, definitely get yourself a loaf. Absolute minimum. Just poop like they do in third world countries, pop a squat on the seat. I'll tell you if I went to join my apprenticeship had pictures. What do you mean? it was a calf instead of a taff. A tafe. Taffy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I didn't realise in India they just like, that's it, in the middle of the street, bang. And they're done, and they carry on about their business. It's pretty crazy. Going with the crazy wood. That's what she said. Again, even though I've explained it 5 or 10 times, I really don't like this section. It doesn't feel realistic or fun. It's just a maniac of a section that tries to kill you every half a second. Again, this is... if Australia was a section of SnowRunner, this is probably it. The UK, that's like the yard where you spawn outside the garage. Oh, it's got winch points on its like forehead. That's pretty good. On its forehead. Brilliant explanation there. You can tell I'm do well on the technical explanations. It's basically because I'm trying to smash my way through this wood rather than... so it's like, I don't know. Yeah, this section is just horrifically terrible. Ticks hate you if you don't drink a lot of booze. We do have ticks here, I suppose. Never had one myself. My cat had one. Not Scruff, not the cat I've got now. He never goes out, so he ain't catching shit. Not a tick, not a mouse, fleas, nothing. Ride spiders to pull scout traders. It's an option. Not sure I'd want to go with it. Especially like, yeah, that film when I was a kid, Arachnophobia. That is a bloody good film though. I watched that actually about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ago. Still holds up today. It's a classic. Well, funnily enough, a lot of like the little spiders in that film Arachnophobia look a lot like our house spiders here. When I say little, you know, like the one he sprays with that chemical? And it's smoking, but it's still running along the floor, and then he treads on it. I think, was it the guy who played like Fred Flintstone? I can't remember his name. John Goodman, maybe. It might be the wrong guy anyway. Yeah, those sort of spiders are about the biggies we get here, which is still more than big enough. Like I said, years and years ago when I was a kid, like, I don't know, 5 or whatever, my real dad had a tarantula, a big bugger as well. I believe it was, that was no other way to put it, illegally acquired. Well, yeah, I don't think it was a species that was normally sold in the UK. One, it was fucking gigantic, even for a tarantula. It lived to 7, which a lot of the spiders, the smaller tarantulas in the UK apparently don't live that long. It had fangs that, oh man, like, just the thought of them now still terrify me. They were massive. They were like, probably not far off an inch long fangs that were just beasts. Like how thick and everything they were. Like if that bit you, that's not little 2 pinholes in you. That's like, they get, I don't know. I'm trying to think how fat. But like it'd be like stabbing 2 pencils into your hand. Like that's how fat it's fat. Obviously they were like razor sharp, pointy little thin things at the tips, but if it's sank half an inch in, like that's starting to get some diameter to them fangs then. And yeah, like I say, that thing was a beast. Like, absolutely scared the shit out of me. I remember he gave my mum a cake tin back or something, and he put one of the skins in it, like, because they shed their skin. And yeah, didn't go down too well, if I'm honest. But the thing was not quite the size of a dinner plate, but it weren't far off. And like I said, I believe it was probably some kind of like illegal spider smuggler or whatever, you know, like exotic pet smuggler type person that got it and he bought it. I mean, I assume not only the statute of limitations should have passed for that by now, about 30 years later, but he's dead anyway, so good fucking luck to the good man. Saying that, I don't even know, I was going to say, I don't even know where his ashes is. Best way, tell the government he owes more than 1 penny in tax. Well, they'll fucking find him then. Even if he's ashes, we'll be like, yep, we got him. 634 metres southwest. We're on it. Aussie man, rest in peace, John Connor. What do you mean? Like, from the film? You're not on about like the actor though, are you? Was it Edward Furlong or something? And then again, I suppose there's a few people that have played John Connor by now. What mod is that, may I ask? It is called the K3K7286, so we'll have to come up with a new name for that, because I ain't saying that one ever again. Yeah, I don't know, I know it sounds stupid, but it looks like this, and you should quite easily be able to find it in the mod list, because just the picture is this, and it's a bit of a... It's not the best looking truck. Certainly, you should know when you scroll past it. Yeah, I don't know how to pull it, I don't know. Barry'll do. Yes, if there was really dinosaurs, just imagine how big insects were back then. Yeah, exactly. Well, part of the reason why insects were bigger is because the CO2 levels were a lot higher, and the way insects breathe, they kind of have loads of little hollow tubes just going through their body. They don't have lungs as such or anything. They're just like air kind of passively flows through these little tiny tubes that weave in and out through their body. And obviously with higher concentrations of CO2, they could afford to get bigger. That's why you'll see in like, yeah, your classic like dinosaur films, even, you know, ones like cartoon ones like The Land Before Time, there'll be like a dragonfly, but it's like a 1 or 2 foot dragonfly that's an absolute beast. Yeah, I believe because like CO2 levels were high enough to the dragonfly could grow that big, whereas now they're just, I assume as the insect scales up in size, it doesn't scale as efficiently with how well it can breathe. So yeah, the less relative CO2 or whatever, the less kind of size it can get to. But I think that's why stuff was like, not necessarily with dinosaurs and that, I mean maybe that could be oxygen levels, all sorts, but yeah, I think it was CO2 with like the insects and that. And trees and that as well. You see a lot of trees from back, like ancient looking trees that are absolutely monsters. And again though, it's because the CO2 levels were more like 5,000 parts per million. These days they're more like, I don't know, 350 to 500 depending where you live. So yeah, again it's the same. I mean, people do it like greenhouses, people who commercially grow food and stuff in greenhouses, they have, I don't know, like they add CO2 because yeah. That'd be your best bet for curing world hunger, technically. To increase the world's CO2 levels. Oh no, I want to try crossing back here actually. yeah, increase the world's CO2 levels, and then the same size field of harvest of whatever, corn regardless, it'd get more, because it's just got more CO2 to breathe. And I admit, it wouldn't go anywhere towards world hunger, just the companies owning that product would make more profit, but you know what I mean. There would technically be more food available in the same given space. SnowRunner, you're a scientist. I definitely won't go that far. I just like, I don't know, information, random stuff. That's the thing, I can't remember a lot of useful stuff I probably need to remember. I just have random things floating around in there that one day. Yeah, one day someone will run up to me, point a gun at my head and say, I don't know, explain the difference between law and acts and statutes, or I'll blow your brains out, and I'll be like, oh, thank God I read that random piece of information 8 years ago. It was hotter, there's more oxygen, not CO2 in the air. There was both. There was more oxygen and CO2. And a day would only last, oh, let's skip past that. Yeah, there was more CO2 for, like, the vast majority of, like, history, pretty much. I think we're, like, among the lowest levels it's ever been. But yeah, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, it was down at, like, 300 parts per million. And it was about 180 parts per million. 180 to 200 parts per million. Plants... there's a variation called C3 and C4. It's like how efficiently they take the CO2 up and stuff. But yeah, like plants obviously reproduce. If the CO2 levels got as low as like 180 to 200, they wouldn't necessarily die, but they basically would enter like a hibernation state where they won't try and reproduce, so they wouldn't seed, etc., etc. So if CO2 levels on the planet are kind of between 350 to 500, and I can't remember which point back in time specifically, but I remember reading about one where CO2 levels were about 5,000 parts per million, and like I said, that was like bigger trees, bigger insects, etc., etc. Yeah, like we would still be able to breathe just fine because we breathe oxygen. As long as there's enough oxygen in the atmosphere, CO2 levels on the planet going up to 5,000 wouldn't kill us or anything. But yeah, plants and stuff would, I don't know, be loving it, really. Which way am I going? Oh yeah, there we are. I completely forgot for a second. I was like, which map am I on? What am I doing? Aussie man, Dan died. Who's that? I just googled that, he's still alive. Yeah, I don't know what, not sure what you're on about. John Connor, Dan. Before last ice age, CO2 was 10,000 times higher. The Arctic had the climate of present-day Florida. That's what I mean, though. Like, where they bang on about all this climate change. Like, I'm not denying the climate is changing, but what makes you think that it shouldn't be changing now when it has changed, you know, every decade for the last, like, hundreds of millions of years? I don't know what it is where people now believe that's it. 2020, the climate should now stop and be exactly as we want it to be, and if it changes, then it's climate change and it's all our fault. Like, yeah, like you said, the Arctic was present-day Florida. In England, 10,000 years ago, I believe it was an ice age. So much ice, like I said, in Scotland, that it literally levered the south of England up in the air, hence the White Cliffs of Dover. 5,000 years ago, we had a climate similar to modern-day Africa, like a Saharan, you know, like where lions roam, all that sort of stuff. Obviously now, 5,000 years ahead, we're, to be fair, probably roughly slap bang in the middle between African weather and Ice Age weather. So yeah, it's like, it changes. Trying to tell me using a fucking energy-saving light bulb is going to make any difference. And then you got Elon Musk the other week saying like, oh, he's not accepting Bitcoin anymore because of the environmental issues. Like, it's not very environmentally friendly because you have to run computers to mine it and all that. And is he not the one flying fucking rockets into space? Like, yeah, what you're doing ain't very environmentally friendly, mate. In fact, I'd go as far as to say one of his rockets will more than outweigh my entire life of CO2 output. One of his rockets will probably outweigh the entire mining operation of Bitcoin thus far. Like, yeah, they're just... Personally, I think he was a bit of a filthy bastard on that. I think he purposely did that to try and collapse the price of Bitcoin, which... I don't own any Bitcoin, by the way, so I'm not saying this as like a bitter person that got bit by it, but he's the richest man on the planet, and he just fucked a lot of people out a lot of money who ain't as rich as him, and could really have done with not losing that money. And yeah, the way he did it by saying that it's to do with, like, saving the environment when he flies rockets for a fucking job. And then, yeah, you can say he has electric Tesla cars, like, yeah, now go check out lithium mines and see where he gets the juice for those batteries. Like, not knocking them, I'm just saying, it's like, Tesla ain't the greenest company on the planet, and when you crash an electric car that pisses battery acid all over the floor, that ain't exactly great for the environment either. So it's all a little bit, yeah, it's twisted to fit everyone's narrative, isn't it? Like, everyone is at it in that sense. Or well, not everyone, like the average person like you and me, but I mean company-wise and politician-wise, like at that kind of level. It's all a bit dodgy tactics. I can't read your name, dude, it's in Russian. I appreciate you joining us and that, I just apologise, I can't... Yeah, I can't read Russian. I can see SnowRunner because you wrote that in English, but that's it. But again, I appreciate the joining us. Somebody, I'm sure, could probably read Russian. Dan Comner, played by John Goodman, then written out the sequel series of Roseanne shortly after started. Oh, what, so he died in Roseanne or something, or you're on about John Goodman's dead? So yeah, he said John Connor last time, now it's John Goodman. I think that's probably confused the situation a bit. In cheap so the ultras can buy it nice and cheap. Yeah, with Bitcoin it probably is, but it's just sad to see where like the literal richest person on the planet still needs to do another hustle to make a bit more money, if you know what I mean, even though he knows that there was a lot of people that had, you know, like what little life savings they have, they're struggling because coronavirus is like fucked, mine included. Not life, but you know what I mean, like I've not been working anywhere near as much, I've blown any savings I had all the way. It's just skinted a lot of poorer people out, and some people had like what little savings they had in Bitcoin, hoping for it to climb and blah blah blah, and then yeah, the richest man on the planet says he'll accept it in Tesla, then declines it so it'll crash the price, and it's just like, really? Was £175 billion not enough for you? Like 175,000 million wasn't enough? You just needed a little bit more of everybody else's money? I did used to like him up to that point, and now I honestly think he's a bit of a fucking scumbag. Because I don't like hypocrites, and he definitely showed himself to be a hypocrite with that. I think he lost, like, a lot of people kind of gave him a bit of a free pass, but I think he pissed a lot of people off with that. And he kind of deserves it, to be honest. Oh yeah, fuel. What's this? Oh, I could get a loaf, I mean, again, get yourself a loaf, but this thing has got a roof rack on it, so I may as well use it. Saves unpacking the loaf. Wolf, you're wrong, we should be afraid of bats. After the bite and one man gets stuck, the whole country then spreads. Is that with the
Corona thing though. There's quite a few questions over where did the bat get it from. But yeah, I know what you mean. Well, I'm not exactly a fan of bats. We have a few bats in England. See them flying around every now and then. Again though, they're not the vampire type. See, everything we have is just normal. It's polite. It's British. Common, like... We might have bats, but they're polite British bats. They don't try and suck your blood. We have spiders, but they're polite British spiders. They live in your shed. And they eat some flies and that's about it. We've got snakes, but they're polite British snakes. They don't try and kill you. They don't try and wrap themselves around you and strength. Well, like I said, that one did swim at me. I threw a fish at. Good job I had a fish, to be honest. Imagine what the fish thought and all that. I never really thought about it before, but I thought he caught a worm. Then I reeled him in, ripped a hook out his mouth, and then threw him at a snake. But he went back to his mates like, you are never going to guess what I've been up to. Like, a big human caught me and then threw me at a snake. I was like, bullshit. You're lying. Yeah, well, this did that mission pretty well. I'll go for a last little drive down it. I'm just curious. When I get up to the top of this hill, I like to drive down the other side. But yeah, we'll probably call it a day pretty soon. Elon also did a pump and dump and lost a lot of people money on Dogecoin. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, dude, like, calm down on wrecking the average person. Like, go and do that to a, I don't know, go and do it to Apple stock, where at least Apple is a billionaire company. When you're doing it to Dogecoin, which only like the wealth of it only exists from people buying it and all the rest of it, and yeah, some people say, well, you shouldn't have bought Dogecoin. It's like, well, yeah, a lot of people are sick and tired of being skint and broke and want some little fucking something to hold on to, and he had to wreck that as well. And again, by the way, I didn't have any Dogecoin, didn't lose any on that, so I'm not bitter in that sense either. It's just watching what he did to a lot of people was like, you scummy bastard. And it was no surprise that it came shortly after that whole GameStop thing, where the billionaires were in tears going, oh, please stop buying GameStop stock because our hedge funds are losing money. And it sort of feels like the billionaire world then took a giant fat shit on the average person world as a bit of a punishment for that GameStop thing. I think that's why they purposely pumped and dumped Dogecoin and then crashed Bitcoin. Just to, yeah, bit of a lesson. Remember who owns you. Remember who's in charge. Just see we're having rolling blackouts, partially due to excessive mining. Sorry, I couldn't see where that was though, dude. The snake nearly had my cat for lunch. My grandpa then beat it to death with a bamboo rod. Good for him. That was the right course of action. He was a greedy snake. I would not be fucking happy if I seen a snake trying to eat my cat. Well, I would be happy if I seen anything trying to eat it, but you know what I mean. It's pretty bad. Apple products made by Chinese slave labour. Do you know what? I can promise you now, I'm absolutely no fanboy of Apple whatsoever. But when I was about 15, for Christmas I got an Apple iPod Shuffle or whatever. That still works. In 2011 I bought an Apple iPhone 4 and that still works. In fact, it's on right now next to me. And then yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago I got the Apple iPhone 7. Only reason why is because I can use them and that's it. I don't like changing phones all the time. I was purely stuck to Nokia before that with like the 3310 and I can't remember the name of it. It was like the 5260 or something. Yeah. I'm not like a fanboy, not trying to big them up. I agree with the Chinese slave labour shit, but then when they're over here they'll try and say like, you know, they'll virtue signal over here, but it's like, yeah, you're still using slave labour and all that. But I've got to be honest, I own 3 Apple products. One of them I've owned for 18 years and it still works. We've got to GameStop them again. Yeah, I agree. But then they'll Bitcoin everyone again. But nonetheless, I do agree.
watching that billionaire cry, like, oh, he's going to have to sell one of his 14 yachts and 18 palaces to cover bills this month. What a tough situation for that man to be in. Like, let's all have a whip around. Let's not pay the gas bill this month. Let's stick it in a hat and make sure that billionaire can afford another golf course this month. And for what it's worth, by the way, I'm not anti-capitalist or anti-billionaire at all. Like, just, I don't know, can you not be half human about it once you've made it that far? Just at least not be a conniving, scheming, greedy fuck your entire life. Like, you've made it, you're rich. Be a little bit, I don't know, like, a bit like Elon used to appear a little bit. And again, I was never a fanboy of his. So I'm just, out of all of the billionaires, it's like, oh, he actually seems half reasonable. And then, yeah, he did the whole Dogecoin, Bitcoin thing, and it's like, yeah, you're a scumbag just like the rest of them. Too greedy for your own good. Bleaker, I'm back. Put my daughter in a loaf and she's sound asleep. Got them professional. Gets the job done. I appreciate your videos and streams. Always very entertaining as well. I appreciate it, JS. Glad you're enjoying them. Well, yeah, I still like doing them. Like I say, I've sort of both ways. Like, thank you to you guys for still turning up and watching the streams and the videos and that, because it kind of works both ways. Where none of you are watching, I don't really have any enthusiasm to make a video, but if you are, then it's sort of, yeah. And because of that, I've like enjoyed this game a lot more in general in the last 14, 15 months or whatever. And yeah, it's good. It's a good place to kind of, like I say, a lot of people tell me information in the comments of like, you can do this, you can do that, money glitches, all sorts. So it's just kind of a good place for everyone to gather. Let us know the little handy tips going on. And yeah, squeeze a bit more out of the game. See, goddamn horse. The ride continues. Heard about new $500 US dollar Freedom phone. I've not heard of it, to be honest. Sounds pretty good though. Sounds pretty freedomish. Americans do like their freedoms. Well, they like administering those freedoms via like a 30mm A10 Warthog Gatling gun. And I honestly, I kind of agree. That is a good way, is an efficient way to administer freedom. It's probably one of the best sounding ways to administer freedom as well. To be fair, Bill and Melinda Gates divorced, the Bezos divorced, each now only half as rich. They're practically broke. Yeah, true. It's kind of funny how the two richest women on the planet got that way by divorcing the two richest men on the planet. Divorce. That's a money-making game if ever there was one. Can't remember, yeah, what. I wouldn't say famous quote, but some woman married a guy, obviously loads of money, divorced him, got a load of money, and someone said, oh, you only married him for his money. And she's like, no, I divorced him for his money. But yeah, easy as that. Now, I've got to be honest, what was Jeff Bezos' wife, didn't she go like 30 billion? That is a bit hefty. I think Freedom Phone is a ton of virtue signaling. I have no idea, to be honest. Not heard of it. I have no idea. It's definitely not good. Left very scared of not tracking people they don't like. Yeah, true. See, I'm the opposite when it comes to that. Absolute minimum government involvement in everything. Let people crack on. And in general, lean on the side of good people. So if someone breaks into your home and you shoot them, the law should always be on your side if it's your home. Whether, even if the gun you owned was illegal or you'd expired license at the time, all that, like, irrelevant. That's how government should operate. But they seldom do. But yeah, I mean, running a country is just like running a big business. And I have to say, some people won't like it, I don't really care either way, but that's why I think Trump was very good at being an American president, because he just treated it like a big corporation. And yeah, he made like the markets boom, all the rest of it, like manufacturing. I don't know, he just ran it like that. It didn't feel like anything nefarious about what he was up to. I don't play SnowRunner as much anymore, just watch you because of how entertaining you are. I appreciate it, man. I think, yeah, there's a lot of people. I can see why. I mean, the game's been out over a year. I'll be honest, 15 months ago or whatever, when I started making videos on it. I mean, one, I never planned or necessarily imagined doing a video every single day, but obviously your guys, like, good response to me doing the videos. I kind of wanted to put more videos out and all the rest of it. Then the whole Corona thing was kind of kicking in at the same time. Yeah, like I was assuming I would be working more often and there'd be more days where I wouldn't necessarily make a video and all that, but yeah, it's just kind of between the coronavirus and everything, I was able, / kind of seemed like the best use of my time right now to sort of plough into it full time. Dating 20 years, lived apart, separate finances, he wanted to sign a prenup before marriage. Yeah, I do think that it is way stacked against men in that respect, the divorce courts and all that. I've seen another one the other month, was like some guy that was dating a woman, she never lived with him, etc, etc. Never married, he never proposed to her, nothing. She literally kept, I mean, long story short, you know, it was like a long-term friends with benefits. And then she ended up getting, like, some disgustingly massive payout, like 25 million off him, and it's like, that's insane. I mean, at that point, that is literally prostitution. Prostitution where you can use the government to forcibly collect the bill. And again, I mean, it probably, sorry, I've just gone round in a giant circle. I've just been talking and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm going to have to unpack the loaf. So we'll leave the loaf there. It'll be alright. There was one more vehicle I did want to try quickly. Yeah. I do think divorce, like, is stacked. It's pretty insane. Like, say Jeff Bezos as the top of the tree example. 30 billion, like, she didn't run Amazon, he did. I mean, can they not cap it at $1 billion? Is 1,000 million not enough? If she wants to stay with the money, then stay with the guy, but if you want to leave the guy, then leave his money, kind of thing. Like, it's a bit, I don't know, disingenuous to be like, oh, I don't want to be with the guy anymore, but I'd like to take his bank account with me, if that's okay. And then the government were like, yeah, that's fine, we'll help. I'm sure there was another vehicle I wanted to drive, but it would be near the top here if it was. Been here since the headlight video and still here. I appreciate it, Carson Banish. That was I kind of looked out on finding that. I pressed the wrong button when I was trying to engage my all-wheel drive or whatever, and turn the lights on. I was like, oh my god! Instantly was like, save the footage, make a video, because it'd been driving me mad for the last day and a half, or whatever it was. It could have been that. Yeah, I don't really want to drive that around though. Let's go find one more bridge to lay somewhere, and then we'll call it a day.
Don't even have to do it on one of those maps, I suppose. I've had a little look around these sort of maps. I just couldn't really think of anywhere where it'd be good. Like, where's the perfect spot to lay a bridge? Prostitution be cheaper, exactly. A lot of people do say that. Well, they say with prostitution, it's like you're not paying to have sex with a woman, you're paying her to leave you alone afterwards. And for what it's worth, I've never been with a prostitute, but kind of I understand what they were going for. Not that, I mean, yeah, they should legalise prostitution. It's the oldest profession in the world. And it, I don't know, probably works out better for the prostitute. Again, even if it was legalised though, I just personally, like I said, it wouldn't be my thing. It's like people who shag those blow-up dolls. I couldn't physically bring myself. I don't care if I was in a room on my own, no one would ever find out. I would know that I shagged a blow-up doll, and I don't know. But again, people that love it, go nuts. Buy two. Go to town on it. Like, people should be able to do whatever makes them happy. Prenuptial agreements are essential these days. They overturn them in court a lot. All the woman has to say is, oh, she felt like she was under duress when she signed it. Which just means, basically, I was under pressure to sign it. Like, yeah, no shit, you were under pressure to sign it. The guy was putting you under half of his assets worth of pressure to sign it. That's the point of it. Like, he's under pressure to marry you, but wants to protect some of his stuff. And again, I've got no problem. I can promise you now, if I was like, it's irrelevant at this point. If I got divorced, it's like, what do you want, half of the overdraft bill? That's about all you're getting out of me. But if I was a multimillionaire or whatever, and I split up, divorce someone, I'd absolutely 100% make sure that they have their fair share. But I just find it insane when someone is worth, 10 billion, and their wife of 4 years divorces them and gets 5 billion. It's like, what the fuck? Isn't the UK known for sheep shagging? Well, Wales, finest goddamn sheep shags on the planet, I'll add. Like, if sheep shagging became an Olympic sport, all of the people that would be representing UK would probably actually be Welsh. But again, I'd be quite confident we would win that competition. No one shags a sheep like a Welshman. There's just nothing else to do up in them hills. But yeah, well, I don't know, I mean, let us know. Maybe elsewhere around the world it is more renowned all around the UK, but as far as in England, like, yeah, we all blame the Welsh for sheep shagging. I mean, Scotland, they probably get up to it occasionally. It's not really their fault. Scotland's pretty shitty weather, not a lot else to do. Oh, sorry, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing again. Where did I want to build a bridge? I did want to build a bridge somewhere here, and I've just forgot. Nope, it's gone. It's not many, really. I don't know. So I'm going to go for one last little drive with this Hummer H1, and then yeah, we'll call it a day. I can't see anywhere decent to go and put a bridge. Like, there is places, but it's just one of them. Where is the Hummer? Have I already? No. Hey. Oh, you son of a bitch. UK immigration forms only question, do you like sheep? Exactly. If you tick yes, you get fast-tracked to Wales. Oh yeah, what trailers have got quickly? Is it legal, the communication to sell it? Is the crime? Criminal conspiracy. What's that on about, dude? It's legal. It's legal.
Oh, trailers. Well, I've got Fox's trailer pack. Oh, so it can have 4-slot stuff. Let's see. It was quite punchy for a Scout, so see how well it would tow this trailer. I mean, not terribly, to be honest. Are you excited for Phase 5? Yeah, I am by now. Like, I've done most of the missions now on Phase 4. I've got a couple left, like Block Gamma and the Liftoff mission are the main ones. A few other little bits and bobs scattered around, but yeah, I'm kind of... yeah, about ready, I suppose, for Phase 5 in the next sort of week or two. Would be pretty cool, but I have no idea. It may well be another month or two. Better Cardiff than London. Yeah, true, I'd agree with that. I like Wales, don't get me wrong. I'm never going to stop taking the piss out of them being sheepshaggers, but I like Wales and Welsh people. Wales is, yeah, I'd happily like to live in Wales. I mean, the sheepshagging is just a bonus, but it looks pretty nice there. And it's got that, yeah, in the middle of nowhere. I imagine Wales would be a lot like the Isle of Man, to be honest. Only, I don't know, the sheep walk with a wider gate to their rears in Wales. Responding to question in chat. Oh, cool, man. You have to try Paystar 5600 TS for those block contracts. Is that, yeah, do you just mean like the non-modded one? I'll bear it in mind, dude. I'll try and factor it in then when I'm planning out what I'm going to do. Yeah, this thing, I have to say, considering I've got a 4-slot ramped flatbed, it's motoring along pretty nice. I appreciate we're on tarmac at the minute. I'm about to get some mud and find out, but the fact that it's doing this well, it's pretty good. I assume, yeah, if I handbrake, it'll try and jackknife. Not as much as I thought, though. It didn't just immediately spin me around and try and flip me or anything. Oh, I wasn't looking. I was looking at the comments, so we'll give that a free pass there. 4-slot ramped flatbed plus 3-slot bed plus crane. Easy secure, secured 8-slot. Ah, true, yeah, cheers man, I probably will try that one. Sounds like a better option than the 8-slot trailer. The only problem is with the Paystar, the only reason I don't use it as much, it's awkward to fit a loaf on. Man, it's pretty high on my priority list. Now the northern cities, if you have female children in family, no. What's that? Now the northern cities. I mean, even... Okay, hi. Thought we were going to get away with it. Again, that ain't bad though. I purposely went wide into that ditch. I mean, normally, yeah, driving along here, getting an auto. Yeah, this is not bad. I think I'll be keeping it anyway. Sarah Smith, I don't think you can have a crane with 3-slot flatbed and a trailer. Do you know what? It crossed my mind as well. I nearly said, can you have all them? And then I thought, maybe it's Bruce I'm thinking about. When they added the 3-slot on Bruce, you can't have, yeah, a trailer or a crane, and it's like, well, that's a high price to pay for one extra thing. But I can't remember on the Paystar, though. But jackknife them while I was let up the throttle and was reading the comments. Whoa, oh, you tosser. Well, I'm only driving around messing around. I didn't really need to deliver them anywhere, but still. The principle of it. Oh yeah, I'm in reverse. Was in the right gear. You come with the Paystar. I'll have to check it out. So that'd be pretty nice. Well, how did you get 8 slots again? Sorry, on the Paystar. You got the 3-slot sideboard. Then I'd have to tow like the ramped flatbed, which would be another 4. Are you on about holding one with a crane to make 8, which is still, like I said, that'll do, get you by. Why not just use the 8-slot IX trailer? True, I don't even know if I've got that mod on anymore. You can run 16 slots of cargo with that. True. Then again though, I was shot that a bit. Yeah, doing it on my first playthrough without mods. So I'm just kind of trying to be using what the game gives me. Didn't like it with chained, actually got completely stuck. You can also do that with the Paystar. Which one got stuck? Was it the Paystar or did you try something else? Hold down the unpacked cargo with crane and it's basically not going anywhere unless you flip. Yeah, well, I do that a lot with holding it on like the dolphin's head, Bruce's head and all that. It does work well, doesn't it? Like it grips on easily enough that it's just a viable way to transport some extra cargo. Ever tried the 10-slot box trailer? I haven't yet. It's probably something I could download at some point. Everything sounds better in a British accent. That Wallace, is that Fosho? 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 I hope I said that right. Yeah, it's funny though, because like, some people say that. I, obviously being British, like certain American accents sound, I like Southern American accents quite a lot. I don't know, yeah, the Aussie accent sounds pretty funny. South African accent, I really like that accent. Well, I don't really know where I'm going at this point. We'll go for a quick lap in the quarry. I'm just kind of yapping along really, just an excuse to drive around. Or if you're a Super Bowler, winch second trailer, 32 slots of cargo, definitely be some serious road train. All bad news from now on shall be... oh, was it something in a British accent? So that's wrong for me at least. I pulled 16 cellulose secured cargo with 2 Paystar. I believe on that cellulose mission I used Paystar. I could be wrong, but I believe I did. King Charles will never sound good in any accent. Do you mean the actual king, or is that like a book or a film, or I don't know. Wallace, for show. How awesome, I'm from the south. South American accent. I don't know, just yeah. Sounds good. Like, I don't know, there's some, what is it? It's like a login program in America. I can't remember the name of it, but they get logs from like water. And there was a guy who had a dog that he called Willy Dog. And man, that guy was just funny as fuck when he talks. If anyone knows what I'm on about, his little dog Willy Dog. That was a pretty funny program. Just for that bit in it anyway. Every time that guy came on, it was like, yes, I'm watching it. The only problem with the 5600 TS is the fuel I get. Yeah, I do it. That is a thing, to be fair. The fuel is a bit of a juicy beast on it. When it goes to 30 litres a minute, it uses available power. Like, it feels pretty decent, but yeah, I do agree on fuel. I run out of fuel first on that, if you know what I mean, especially if I've got it in like a road train situation, all the rest of it. But again, it's one of those, you factor it in, you either go on a route that has got a fuel station, bring some loads with you, pre-plant a trailer on like a common part of like a route you often take. Live in New Orleans, Louisiana, in America. Thanks all Brits for Monty Python. Well, welcome, dude. That's it. Monty Python's definitely got a bit of a cult following, that one. And I can see why. It's a lot of it, again, when I was growing up was like, well, I don't get a lot of the humour as such, but yeah, Monty Python is without a doubt a classic. I have seen it since when I've grown up a bit. If it ain't for COVID, I wouldn't have played this game, but now I'm playing this on my free time as a chill game. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, I mean, the COVID really kicked in, I think, lockdown-wise, all that kind of thing, around, was it a month-ish before this came out? Because I remember a lot of people saying, oh, I wish they'd just released the game a little bit early, since we're all going to be in lockdown. What we were told, if you remember correctly, was for about 3 weeks to flatten the curve. And yeah, 15 months later, the curve, she didn't flatten. Oh yeah, it's not quick interior view. Oh no. Oh, it doesn't let you do it. It's got no interior view. Not that I care, but I'm clicking the button right now and it's just not doing it. The snorkel as well, it's a bit snorkely. I mean, it's there, isn't it? Ain't no avoiding it. Sarah Smith, good night, Mr. Lone Wolf. Don't forget a kitty face reveal. I will. I'll reveal his face before mine. He can be the test pilot. But yeah, good night. Cheers for joining us for the old stream. Aussie man, look up Canadian. Is that like vignettes? The log driver's waltz. I'll have to check it out. Right, get this back to the garage and we'll call it a day. Again, sorry, I've not really been doing much for the last half an hour, just kind of chatting away. Not even really paying attention to where I'm driving, what I'm doing, just... This is like, yeah, like autopilot driving. Actually, I know this is random, but if anyone else ever noticed, like, the kind of driving I've been doing for the last half an hour is like, yeah, autopilot where I'm chatting to you guys, I'm not really paying attention. Do you ever find on racing games, especially if you do like endurance races on Gran Turismo or something, I get better laps and much more consistent laps if I'm just in autopilot mode and I was talking to my brother on the phone or whatever, like, or if I was talking to you guys, when I'm really concentrating on a game like that. I don't know, it's just, I seem to, once I'm in autopilot and I'm just doing it in the background, I actually get pretty good consistent results. Recover, well, I definitely do recommend this. I do think that was pretty nice. The bridge layout, I do. That was actually pretty solid, worth getting, pretty cool. Feels like a just slightly better version of the Zix 605R. Bit of a hefty chin on it, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think that's about, well, the Iceberg, obviously, I recommend, but that's been out for a while, didn't try that. Yeah, I bought a Hummer H2 to compare it, but I couldn't even bring myself in the end to upgrading it and doing it. Never got to try that, but maybe next time. Yeah, well, we'll probably call it a day there, because I need to drain the main vein, to put it politely. So, hang on a sec, I can hear a load of noise outside, I'm just going to shut the window. Done. Yeah, just walking on my ankle a bit there, still feeling it a bit. If you try the Paystar, I have to recommend mud tyres. In most cases, don't need chained on Chinookamensk. Do you not though? I'll have to see. I personally, it depends which route you go, but there is a few hills on Chinookamensk where I could do with the chained, but I might road train it with someone else that's got chained, blah blah blah. You should look up the crazy hydronic racing simulator for PC. I don't know about that specific one, but yeah, they look insane. I think I know what you mean. Is that where like you're in a seat and it's moving around and all sorts? Justin Lynch, good night, Wolf. I appreciate it, dude. Cheers for joining us. Seth Vandetti, can hear the birds. Oh, could you? Yeah, there's like a low loader lorry outside. Like I said, there's a truck recovery company nearby, so they've always got some pretty heavy equipment that they're hauling around at God knows what time. Non-gaming channel, Joker's channel, Better Bachelor, one you enjoy. I know what you mean, Better Bachelor. I've seen a few of his videos. JS, the chat and random talk in your videos set your videos apart from the rest of the SnowRunner channels. I appreciate it, man. I don't know if I could even do a more formal thing, if you know what I mean. I kind of can in some sense. I mean, you'll sort of see, I'm not saying to waste your time doing this, but if you look at like my first Call of Duty videos, I probably sounded very formal then, because I was like, obviously nervous and all the rest of it, doing a video. But I didn't know anybody, obviously. Once I get to kind of know you guys, it just feels like I'm more chatting away to you like normal, so it does make it like a lot more informal. Again, if you probably go back to the headlights SnowRunner video, it's probably quite formal and just to the point and all the rest of it. But yeah, once I get to kind of relax a bit, know everyone, you guys are all sound, it's been good. So yeah, it's nice, it helps sort of relax more and just make the video a bit more natural. Good night, Mr. Lone Wolf. Sorry, I couldn't see you said that, but I appreciate it, dude. Good night. Wallace, for show. Yes, thanks for streaming. Always great content as usual. I appreciate it, dude. IDK? Is that I don't know? Good night. Good night, though, dude. Nick the Knob. Yeah, missions gameplay is more interesting to me than update news, etc. True, I'm not very good at being on it with the update news. Like, there's other channels. Is it, what's his name? UK Gamer. I don't really watch any of their videos because I'm making SnowRunner content. Like I said, if I don't watch their stuff, I couldn't physically copy it by accident or otherwise. It's just I've not seen it. I don't know what they've done. But I believe he's quite... And then there is a... what's the other one? Gaming Wheel, it might be. I think they're pretty up to date on like updates and that. Better than I am anyway. I'm not very good at getting on with that. Aussie Man, well, if you vanish from them tube, we will see you on... Caffeine. What's that? I've not even heard of that one. Is that a new site? Is that some kind of OnlyFans thing? Like I said, yeah, they banned me on YouTube. I'll go to OnlyFans. That'll be my only option. Show you pictures of the loaf's nipples for $2.99 a month. Can't go wrong. Seth Bandetti, Tribe Called Cars is good. Yeah, true, him as well. I've seen like it again. His thumbnails sort of pop up in my thing every now and then, and yeah, he does seem pretty kind of up to date on, he knows what's going on and all the rest of it. Yeah, well, like I say, I'll leave it there though. I appreciate you all joining us. Hopefully phase 5 is out sooner rather than later, because yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm running out of things to do on the live streams, but when I'm out doing my normal playthrough, it's like I haven't got that many missions left and I'm kind of being forced to finish the missions that are a little bit meh, you know, won't make the most interesting of videos and all the rest of it. So yeah, you know, if phase 5 comes out sooner rather than later, that'd be pretty cool. It's just more fresh stuff to mess around with again. But yeah, I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. I'll still be making plenty more videos. Paystars 3 options. Tyres, by the way, use the second option. Cheers, man. I'll check them out. I'll try them out. Carson Vanish. Why are all the good SnowRunner creators British? I don't know, actually. That's a good point. I never really never even thought about it, but I suppose, yeah, UK Gamer and Tribal Cars, yeah, I think they're both British as well, aren't they? Game Steam site, Home Wrecker, King Tunes and H2O Summit on there. H2O Delirious on there. Wallace for show, I bet the loaf has some tank's nipples. Some tanky nipples. He will. Goddamn professional nipples. That's what they are. The nipples that will get the job done. That's all you need to know. For $2.99 a month, he will show you. TC not British. No, true. And I'd say, I believe, is he like the biggest SnowRunner sort of dedicated? Like, he's pure dedicated as well to SnowRunner. Oh no, he does that other... Can't remember what it's called, Off-Road Outlaws, is it, or something? Again, I don't watch his videos, but well, I obviously have at some point. Like the Tribe Called Cars, I get SnowRunner videos recommended in my list, I suppose, because I play SnowRunner. I sort of by proxy watch my own SnowRunner videos because I click on it then to reply to comments or to screenshot the whatchamacallit, like for the thumbnail and all the rest of it. So yeah, I suppose the algorithms just recommend me other SnowRunner stuff. Oh yeah, as well, I got a load of new chargers for my phone arrive, and it's still barely climbing up. I don't know what to do. Has anybody ever changed a battery on an iPhone? Like, the battery still works and everything, but I think what I've done is because the charger lead kept being iffy and it was blinking on and off all the time, I think it's kind of like cooked the battery a bit to where it's just not as good. So I've been trying to leave it again recently and just have it like plug it in and let you know how they used to say. I used to think this was a load of bollocks, but I actually think there is some truth to it. Where
batteries have a little bit of kind of memory, so if you keep erratically charging them, they'll kind of not work as well. But if you're a bit consistent with, like, you just charge it, you know, from low to high all the time, and it's just one smooth charge, not getting plugged and unplugged. So I've kind of, now I've got a new charger lead that's not blinking on and off as often. I was hoping it would charge quicker though, like normally with a 3 amp charger, it climbs quicker, but it's barely getting up like 1% or anything. But yeah, I'm trying to like recondition the battery that it was saying by like being a little bit more consistent with the charging, but I don't know whether to just change the battery, but if, like, I don't know, it looks like some engineering job when I watched it on YouTube. I'm not sure if I trust myself, because if I fuck it up and I get it wrong and my phone's dead, I now have zero access to YouTube and everything. Like, I'd be able to upload a video, but I wouldn't even be able to check if it's uploaded. I wouldn't ever be able to reply to anyone or even read your comments or all sorts, so it's kind of like a high risk for me to risk doing that with my phone. But at the minute I just can't really reply to anyone in the comments, which is kind of annoying me, to be honest. Like, that's why I don't go through everyone's comments and just put a heart thing next to it, because it's kind of like, I'd rather reply if I'm going to reply, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I just, like, my phone, the battery will just plummet ridiculously quick when I'm trying to reply. Charger until I have to unplug it to move somewhere. Yeah, same here. It's just after a while, like, the charger gets slightly loose. Like I said, the actual thing in the phone that receives the charger, I think I've kind of worn the hole out, and the charger that I plug into it now is just a very loose fit. So when if the phone's just sat on my leg and I'm watching a YouTube video or something, or I'm just holding it watching a YouTube video, I can kind of use the cable between my fingers and just keep it into the phone and it's fine. But when I'm typing, because I'm just jiggling the phone around a bit as I'm typing, it so easily just wiggles the cable out and then it's not charged. And then obviously because the battery's just a bit old and I've kind of fried it by how much it was flicking on and off. When a charger cable starts to break, it just gets to the point where, yeah, like, it just flicks from charging to not charging, like, can be like 4 times a second, and I really don't think it does the battery too much good. Wolf, would you want to see any Japanese trucks in this game? Yeah, I wouldn't say no. Don't see why not. Like, I'll be honest, I know very little about Japanese trucks, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. No, because even in England we have all like Scania, Volvos, all that sort. I can't think of like a well-known Japanese. I've never seen like a Honda truck, or I don't even know if they do make trucks, but yeah, I can't, like, yeah, cool. Why, I'd sort of, the more the merrier. Add some Indian trucks as well, would be quite interesting. Tablet has a cable taped to it to keep it charged. Yeah, well, that's near enough. Like, I taped a piece of, yeah, like, birthday present ribbon around a charger the other day. I got a new charger lead. I had about 6 charger leads arrive the other day because I was sick and tired of not having one. And it was a 3 amp fast charger. I've plugged that in for the last few days, and I just thought my phone would climb up a lot better, but it's just going a bit slow at the minute. But I'll stick with it. I'll see if, like, just being a little bit more consistent with the battery charging, I can kind of recondition it a bit. And yeah, hopefully I can get back to, like, replying to some comments. It'd be nice. Lithium batteries are temperamental to constant short charges. In your settings you can click battery health and that'll tell you health. Yeah, mine says 64% now, but I've got to be honest, it said that bloody ages ago and I think it's less since then, but that's what it tells me. Yeah, alright, well, I'll tell you what, I'll stop it there. I won't keep going on on a SnowRunner live stream about my iPhone battery, but I appreciate your tips and that. I'll have to look into changing it, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, like I said, upcoming videos I'll be doing, yeah, block, gamma, and pretty soon I'd like to do that liftoff. I'll probably be doing that liftoff mission where the rocket actually launches before next week's live stream, so that'll kind of be, and then there'll be videos in between. Maybe I'll have a day off or something while it's a bit of a quiet time on SnowRunner, but yeah, for the most part I'll still be cracking along, getting some of the last missions done. Lucian St. Clair, bye. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone for joining me. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your nights, days, whatever you're up to. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.